Start us off in here, Raps. Start us off,
Do
baby.
it.
Oh, hello, my little pumpkins and my little watermelons and my caneppas hanging off a tree branch.
Hmm?
Welcome to
Talk to him.
the Just Bake channel, JBC.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We do the JBC around here because, you know what I mean? We like to do acronyms. I don't know. That's what
There it
people do.
is.
Everything's
There it is.
letters. Letter talk, letter talk, letter talk. JBC. This is a part of our channel where we do a segment called Docs with Fat Cat. Docs, documentaries with Fat Cat. Who is that? That's
D
the nigga.
D
In the hood.
DWPC. If y'all don't understand, you know what I'm saying?
DWPC,
Ooh.
because it's all acronyms we got to give to these niggas.
JBCDWPC.
You know what I mean? I am
Ah,
YP. That's LMYP. You know what I mean? PC, SSSJ. I don't. You know what I mean? We here. Uh, once a week on this channel, we do documentaries. We go around the horn between us three, um, and sometimes a fourth. Only one so far. It was ma. But we're gonna get some more of that going in the future. But we go around the horn and Bay, how my shit go? She picked one too, even though she
there
wasn't
you
here,
go.
but she picked one.
There you go.
Um,
She picked.
you know what I mean? So we go around once a week, we pick a documentary that we find interesting, or maybe not interesting, or we want to throw it out into the mix and let people be
Yep.
people. Um,
There it is.
so we toss it out there like such, and we talk about it. We do things and we say stuff. We do it by watching, and we do say stuff about it. Um, and I believe this week around the horn, my man Lil Mattress came through with the boiled angel.
Not angle.
Oh, you
Did I
almost
miss
had
it?
it.
Fuck.
Add
But
that S. Add that S.
Boiled angels. Boiled
Yeah.
angels. Shit.
Yes.
I thought it
Yes.
was one.
Yes.
Boiled angels.
I thought it was
As
just.
for those of you that if you don't know, now you will know. I botch every title on every documentary we ever
On
watch,
the
and it's become
intro.
a thing. It's become a thing, and I promise you,
Almost.
it's
Hey,
not
you got a
intentional.
couple right. You got a
I
couple
got a
right.
couple
So
right.
it's
It's not
almost
intentional.
everyone.
I just me and titles sometimes we just don't get along. Um,
Me, little does he know, y'all, that me and Five got a side bet going on every time we go.
this fucking guy cashing out. All right.
Ah.
Domino's on you today. Domino's, you want the stuffed crust? You want the fucking Beyond Pizza? The fuck is Beyond Pizza? And I want pizza.
Oh
If I
shit!
don't want pizza, I don't want pizza. If I want pizza, I want pizza.
That's it.
Bars. Yo,
Yeah,
so
Five.
this
Let us
was
in.
out
Yeah,
of
Yes. So
control,
I'll let
man.
I'll let Fire kind of dip it on what he. This was
yeah,
crazy as fuck. So
Yeah, this
yeah, yeah,
was
yeah, 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 yeah.
this was more than I thought it was gonna be. Wow.
hmm
I watched the trailer, and because that's how I choose mine is, man, I'll go through it. Let me check out as many trailers as possible. Boom, boom, boom. Try to find one. This shit I thought was just about well, and it was, but it was like I said, so much more about this dude, Michael Diana, who made comic books. I didn't realize the comic books were so far in that direction. I've like they were saying so he was the only artist ever to be tried and
Convicted.
convicted of
Yep.
obscenity.
obscenity
And
Yes.
and being a comic book
Yes.
artist, an
yeah,
illustrator.
Yes.
and actually went to jail for just a couple of days for it, but then was on probation for 3 years for it. And
He had a lot of shit for it, but
yeah,
what he was running down, I was just like, Jesus, he gave him all that, and yeah, we'll get into it, but it was
yep.
yeah.
So this shit, I saw the documentary, and once again, I love free speech, and
Yep.
we have it, and I think there's always certain people that want to ratchet it back a little bit and always back a little bit, always back a little bit. And we see this with music, we see this with the internet, we see that, especially Twitter nowadays. Oh my God, try to put an opinion on Twitter and see what happens.
Right.
They'll either delete it completely or they'll put a whole bunch of caveats around it.
Oh yeah, my
And
lady's mother last week was in Twitter jail
yeah,
because she made some comments. She was kind of airing out President Donald J. You get
yep,
enough people to report you, they shut you down for a little bit. They put you on a
yeah.
Twitter
Hey,
timeout.
you know what I think about that guy, Donald, whatever Trump,
Mm.
a big fuck him.
Big
Truth.
fuck.
A
That's
big fuck them.
Big fuck him. Just stop being a baby and go on with being a millionaire.
That's it.
Cut it out.
That's it.
Fuck. Go on with your millions and be happy. Stop pretending you cared
That's
about
it.
the country.
I think
Your
the best
bottom
thing.
line.
I think
And
the
if you
best
keep
thing
your
he
shit-
could do. Go ahead.
They might lock your ass up too. You keep it up.
For real. I think the best thing Trump could do is sit back and, I hope he doesn't do this. I hope Joe Biden and Camilla don't do this, but the best thing Trump could do is sit back, watch them fuck up everything and go,
Right.
see,
See?
Right.
that's the best thing
Right.
he could do. And then run
That's it.
again
Look
in
at my
4 years
hands.
if
See
that's
my
what they
hands?
do.
I tell you when to speak with my
That's
hands.
it.
Yeah.
For real.
it.
Because, listen, Joe Biden just broke his foot playing with his dog. The man is old. The man is frail. It's not going to go well for too much longer.
He did fucking.
He did?
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah.
You didn't hear about that one, P? Yeah,
He's in a boot for the next 6 weeks. So,
Yeah,
come on, man.
he fractured playing with his dog.
Yeah.
Sleepy Joe. That nigga fell asleep in mid throw in a
Sleepy
tennis
Joe.
ball. Just dozed off mid fucking newspaper
real.
toss. Just,
Mr. Glass.
Mr. Glass.
Oh, man, that's good.
Oh,
That's good.
yep.
Fucking great.
So
Yep.
yeah, man. Dirty Diana.
Dirty Diana.
Now there's so many maybes in here. Like from what he draws, and once again, this entire thing for me is about the First Amendment. Regardless if
Right.
you like what he made, regardless if you think it has any
it's
moral
about-
value, anything like that. Them trying to we'll get into it, but further into it, when the people are in the courtroom trying to say it's not art.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my God,
yeah.
that was like and we
Yeah.
worked in an art
Right.
gallery, rap. So
Right.
like, bro, some of it. Remember, up on the top floor in the first gallery where they had just straight up notebook paper with like
Yeah.
garbage ass. Right.
That was the yeah. They had ones where it was like looked like kid watercolor paintings.
Yes,
like a kid
water.
did.
And these things are put up in Yale
And worth a lot of money.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
of the
yeah.
story,
Yeah.
because of the story that was put behind it. And that's what I
Yeah.
realized
Yeah.
working here. When it comes to that modern contemporary shit, is how much fire are you putting behind that project? How
Yeah.
much
Hey, yo.
fucking how much description illustration can you give over paint splatters and really
For
make
real.
that come to life? And if you
But
could
check
do
this
that
out, right?
successfully, you'd be out in the art
You get
world.
away with it,
You know what I mean? Right. You can
Now
make
check
it
this
happen.
out, right? We're talking about this man and saying that his shit wasn't art, right? All right, you have that opinion. You can say that, right? But you mean to tell me duct taping a fucking banana to a canvas
Yeah.
is fucking art?
For $200,000 or whatever they sold it for, right?
Man, get the
Yeah.
fuck out of here,
I
Yeah,
said,
man.
we've seen
to
it.
me, that's offensive. You duct tape
Yeah.
banana to the wall and you pretend that shit's art. That's offensive to me.
Right.
I'm sorry.
How about,
I'm offended.
how about remember the
You
biggest
think you
offensive
think I'm
one?
stupid
Remember
now?
that time when people got offended, when we worked at the art gallery there? They had a shovel hanging from the ceiling. Remember
Yep.
this? A shovel. And that was the artist. He goes, and the way he got away with it and became art is because they're like, that's not art, that's a shovel. He goes, that's art. It has shape, it has form.
Yep.
Somebody designed it. I'm showing their design, their artwork. That's art. And because he didn't design the shovel, but
Yeah.
because he pointed it out as art, it became art.
Oof.
Crazy. And now it's worth fucking money out the
Yeah,
ass because of the guy. You know what I mean? And what he
So
said.
when Mike Diana's drawing a bunch of weird dicks and Jesus and nails, so I mean,
Right,
I might
right.
not like it, but shit,
It's
it's art.
art.
And you got, like you said, his magazine wasn't big, but he was selling 200 to 300 copies. So there's an audience for it. People like it. It is or people are, maybe they don't like it. Maybe they're interested in it. Somebody out there is consuming it.
right.
And nobody's being forced.
Somebody like a Rob Zombie or something's like, yeah, I fucking
Bro.
had my
Bro.
fucking pack of
Yeah,
what
boiled
they called? They were
angels
called
7.
Like,
I boiled them
Zines.
7 and 8 zines. They were called
Yeah,
zines. Called
zines.
Z-I-N-E,
zines,
but
right? That's another
zines.
zine.
Those are
I wasn't-
those are
I don't
underground
understand
comics. Those are underground comic world. Like it was a whole like Chitlin circuit market of comic books. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There was just like, remember they showed that table full of all bunch of like underground people that were making their own little shit.
But that
And
was
then
after
that one guy-
was after the code. That was after the code. They put up that code, the comic book code.
Right.
Because,
and there was that.
to go back to the beginning,
Mhm.
which as we see the bullshit of society, it was, remember, because in our era, they blamed music. They blamed Marilyn
Yep.
Manson. They blamed Rob
Hip-hop.
Zombie was one of them. They
Right,
blamed hip hop.
hip-hop,
They blamed
right.
all this shit for the problems of the youth. and they blamed Marilyn Manson for the school shootings and all that. Well, come to find out, this is why I love doing these documentaries, how I didn't know it all. Back in the day, it was, these kids are reading these comic books and they're fucking them up. Like, oh, man, come on.
The comic books were terrible. And then they had those ones that were the edgy ones, the horror ones. Then they had some graphic ones coming out back then.
EP Comics.
EC, right?
EC Comics.
EC Comics. Those were your edgy graphic, more like, you know,
they
gory.
said horror.
Bro,
yeah, they said horror and crime.
Tell you, the one EC comic where the guy's over with the skeleton face with the girl with the half skin on up. You know, remember that one where they show you?
Yeah.
I saw that. Like, I saw that comic book on a shelf at a newsstand. And the reason why is because when I was younger, the reason why is because I saw the skeleton with the face up here and the skeleton down with the girl.
Yeah, and that images you're not going to get out of right.
Right. That image, I was like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, that'll burn in.
As a kid, especially, you're like, huh?
You know what I'm saying? And I seen that, and I'm like, yo, what's like my thing is this, man. The mind is going to be the mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're going to get these thoughts. You're going to get these crazy, whatever, right? Why does it have to be? Not coincidentally or maybe or no. Why does it have to be that it's because of a bad? I mean, in some cases it might, but that's on a small scale. On the grand scale of things, why does it have to be something that he had to gone through or he was going through that he didn't want to say?
Because art is always tied and related to emotions. So when you get these pristine people that talk about art, they automatically go like, well, there's something related to the way he's expressing his emotions.
Because they put it in themselves. They say, well, if I did that, it would have been because blank.
Of this,
you know?
Right. You don't have that man's mind, so you don't know what.
But the thing that pisses me off is when they ask him. When they ask him, he's like, yo, man, this is just me. You know, I've been doing this shit since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Talk about it. Talk about when he was a kid. Let's go into that a little bit too.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Them home videos was official.
Yeah.
That nigga was like 9-10 years old making them videos, man.
Yep.
Yes. Making horror videos that were good.
Real quick to button up. So what happened with the comic books is they put out this code where you have to follow this certain code to make any sort of comic books. And just long story short, this shit didn't work. Shit didn't work. Kids are still kids. They're still going to get into shit. They're still going to do stuff, you know, and say things just like us. But it was a situation where I don't know what the fuck they were doing to try to, anything that you try to stop, people are going to go towards. And that's the fucking thing that they never understand. And even to wrap up this entire thing 5 minutes into it, now this dude is a huge artist, Mike Diana, because he got the negative arrested, publicity. He got all this shit and all the publicity came to him. But yeah, just to button up the comic books, they put out this code of ethics that you can't do all that stuff. Then everything moves underground and everything gets more salacious and more unhinged. But long story short, the shit didn't work. You know, they say we're gonna save the kids because we're not gonna let this stuff happen anymore, and then kids are still fucked up. So
But
to go on,
that was the basic premise of
That was the premise because obscene. But the thing is, they kept hinging their whole argument on obscene.
Yeah,
bro, a dude taking a piss on the street is obscene,
right?
But you don't see that motherfucker getting arrested.
Yeah.
Or fucking getting, you just say, hey, use the fucking toilet, you asshole.
Right.
Exactly.
Right? That's all you get, right?
Well, he can get that. He can get indecent exposure, I guess, if they really want to be an asshole about it.
But that's what I'm saying, though. A guy that's physically out there doing that, like really pissing on somebody else's property, defacing and doing all of that, right? He's actively in the act of doing that. The only act that was committed with this guy was him putting his pencil on the paper and making an image and making whatever he wanted to come out.
Yeah.
Right. And it wasn't like he was like, fucking, I'm trying to blow up. And it's like, he had his little small circuit going around.
I think that,
he knew it wasn't a big thing. And he didn't want it to be a big thing because he respected the whole thing about it. You know what I mean? He was in all reality of things, he didn't even know that this was happening, but he was becoming the icon of this without him even knowing it. You know what
Martyr.
I'm
They call him
saying?
a martyr. You become a martyr like
Yes.
that. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? It's like you trying to kill off my spirit, but you just made me live forever, nigga.
That's it. That's
You
all
know
he
what I'm saying?
did.
Yeah,
That's
Yo,
all he
yeah.
did.
if you never scream that in the middle of an argument, you've gone down the wrong path, brother. Because next argument you have, you need to scream that in someone's face, and then drop
Kill
the
my
mic. Yo,
spirit.
just keep a mic somewhere so you could drop the mic after you say that shit. But
Yeah.
a lot of it is
Yeah.
it's the method in which it comes out. Because okay, horror movies,
Right.
they're fine. There's absolutely no
Right.
problem. Freddy is a fucking, pop icon,
He's a
all that
fucking
shit, Michael,
legend.
all that shit.
Love
But
him.
so
Love him.
now there's a horror movie in a comic book form. Oh my God, that's so horrible. And you even get into music that way. All the cats that make horror music and weird underground, horrorcore type music. Oh my God, that's poisoning kids. That's poisoning kids. So it's like the method of how it comes is always battled over.
Right.
It's weird. And some people, well, this isn't acceptable, but you're just making a horror movie in a song. This isn't acceptable. You're just making a horror movie in a comic book, but then you
Right.
can watch a horror movie and
Listen,
everything's fine.
that's X. It's you put it on the same shelf as X-rated, man. That's you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's an X-rated fucking adult magazine.
Exactly. Adult. That's
Right.
where
It's
I
like
feel.
you don't pitch that, like they're doing this to our kids. If your kid got his hands on that book, then you're doing a bad job as a parent. That's what they're gonna tell you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
If
but
your
they
kid gets a
even went down
Playboy,
that
then that's
ladder,
your
though.
fault. Huh?
But they even went down the ladder also too with that, with saying, well, if 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 the kids were going to get fucked up by the comic books reading as a kid, then the adults are going to be even worse, becoming worse adults if they were to
Because of
read
comic
this.
books.
Yeah.
Because of the shit because of the shit Mike was putting out. You know what I mean?
And with no evidence to back up any of this. It's just
Exactly.
fucking, that's how we feel.
Right. You boils
just
down to a
hearsay.
bunch of people that are feeling their opinion is they're offended and they need justice. And that's
all
where
it
that
is.
kind of, you know what I mean?
Here
I'm
it
offended
is.
and I feel a certain way and we got to stop this.
But my thing is this. Who the fuck are you to be with that entitlement?
Yeah. Well, and a lot of it.
Small community people. It was in their community. Somebody in California didn't give a fuck. They didn't know what was going on.
That's another thing. That's another thing that fucked them. They try to pigeonhole, you know what I'm saying, the whole idea, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, bro, you're a fucking piss shot in Florida. You're a small fucking town. You know what I'm saying? Like all you had to do was tell this man, look, if you want to do this, just, you know what I mean, keep it, don't blow it up, because all you did was make the man bigger than what he was supposed to be anyway.
Right. Bro,
you can't leave. That's the best thing.
It's so crazy, man. It's so crazy that would even think about, like, I try to wrap my head around. It's like, okay, it's adult like crazy shit, but it's for adults. But you're blaming on the kids. You're like, I feel like the same way when I was younger and my mother used to work for that place that made fucking cards, like Hallmark kind of cards, but adult version cards. Like, you know what I'm saying? The person that made that, was there something wrong with them that they're showing a picture I'm looking at of a scarecrow with a straw dick getting head from Dorothy? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's ruining a kid, if you ask me, if you're thinking about it. But a kid shouldn't be watching that. But because it exists, it could ruin your kid. But if your kid's not exposed to it, or you talk to them, you're like, listen, there's crazy people in this fucking world, and they have crazy ideas of art.
Listen, smoking crack can ruin an adult. Sniffing cocaine can ruin an adult. It's out there. It can happen, but it won't happen unless they try it.
And Oregon just said, go ahead, try it. Try whatever you want to try. Because Oregon just made this shit decriminalized.
Come on, man. Especially that lady, man. Oh, man. The lady with the glasses.
Oh, I was on his ass. Yeah, the woman.
The one that was like, when she asked him, were you molested as a kid? He was like, no. And she's like, well, you're lying, Mike. Oh,
yeah.
She said that, bro,
because she didn't feel like there's something. She took tooth and nail to the end. She was just, even when she was older and shit, she was just like, hopefully he'll figure it out.
What I was saying was, you're the one that got molested because you're the one that's really pushing and offended by it. So guess what? I believe you were the one that was touched at an early age, and this is you now trying to lash out
not for nothing, and all justice, right?
Hold on, and get justice for maybe something that you didn't have the guts to do yourself.
Yeah, I could see that.
I can see that. I was gonna say, but I can almost like understand it, but it's like you can't. To me, you can't like if I would understand her in a way. I'm not sticking up for her, but like understand it but you can't attack everybody because of what happened to you. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
No,
I can
of course it's
understand when you're offended.
understandable. Of
Like
course
right,
it's
like if
understandable.
like if my whole family was lynched and hung from a tree, the last thing I want to see is a little comic book about a whole family being lynched. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like I'm gonna fucking probably
Okay.
go bonkers too. So I get that part, but then it's like this guy is making the art. So before we go even deeper into like, let's just be honest, this shit was disturbing.
Hell yeah. Hell
Nobody,
yeah.
we're not taking away from that at all. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but that's his art, and
Yep.
we've seen crazy. Like I guess because of the era we grew up in, man, that shit ain't nothing like. You know what I'm saying? We've seen crazy. I've never seen crazy
even
drawings and
P,
shit.
when we watched the trailer and you said these remind me of Garbage Pail Kids. Remember?
Yes.
And I was listen, I was way too young to be looking at those cards because I don't know how, but they were in everybody's
They were
house.
edgy.
I had them and they were disgusting. Like that shit wasn't no shit that no fucking 6-7-year-old should be looking at.
Bro,
And
Garbage Pail Kids.
we had them. Yeah.
Was the shit. Let me tell you that though. Garbage Pail Kids cards was the shit. I loved it. I loved them
because it was edgy. It was risky.
Stickers.
It wasn't.
I
and
used
it was
to
like
have stickers on my headboard.
Oh yeah.
On my bed, on the headboard, on the bedboard. Garbage Pail Kids, bro.
I remember I had the stickers on my little. You remember when you were young, you always had that little trash can in your room. I remember I had the Garbage Pail stickers on the little trash can.
Yeah, got to collect them.
Like,
I ain't got that one yet. I ain't get that one yet.
Exactly.
Get your little bubble gum in the pack. You was good to go.
Yes. And you was the shit. And you was the shit if you had a card that came out and nobody had.
Right.
Yeah.
You was the shit.
The selective ones, you know, there's only one out of there's only 40 out of them.
Yep.
There's only 40. I got 1 out of 40, cuz.
Yeah.
40 in the whole country. What?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but
on,
I
what
feel
we
you.
talking about, man? Like, that's why I really couldn't understand.
But you know,
how the
we're
fuck
from that.
really,
you know what? He was
you know,
rated
like,
at that. It was by the town because I feel like we had so much more edgier shit going on.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean?
it was. That's why. That's the point I'm trying to enforce. That they pigeonhole. They try to pigeonhole them into that community and keep them there. When, or actually, in the world view, just not.
They wasn't feeling the same way.
In the world view, they're like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yep.
Right. All those artists in New York, all those guys that kind of went to bat for him and shit.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? All those...
Are you fucking kidding me? Come on.
Well, a lot of people today and back then, and you know, at every point in time, they don't understand that you can be offended by something, and that does not mean that anything now has to change. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, you're offended. Okay. Honestly, the best thing that they could have done to Mike Diana, if they wanted him to die off and fall and fail, was to leave him the fuck alone. That was it, because he wasn't, you know, he wasn't no marketing genius, anything like that. You could tell he was a reserved dude.
He wasn't in it for the big bang. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't in it to be like super famous and be that guy. And like a lot of those artists are trying to blow up. It's kind of like, oh, I want to put this out for people to think they're cool like me. They think I think it's funny. Like I want to be a nigga to be like, yo, this is funny. I'd have been like, yo, bro, there's something wrong with you, man. Like, you know, if that was the kid I knew. Right. I'd have been like, yo, man, that's a really like crazy part of your mind you tap into, man, for this shit, man. I don't, you know, but I can't even.
I like to try to think of it as, yo, maybe him doing that is his release so he doesn't do that in real life. Maybe that's his fucking, this is how I get rid of it. You know what I'm saying?
It could be a dark fantasy. Wow, I didn't think about that.
But check this out, fellas. Check this out, though, fellas. The answer is all with him, fellas. The answers are with him. And this is why I say this, because, right, he said it himself. Well, I started making this book. I did this zine because at the time, you know, it was big, for instance, when the pastors were raping little boys.
Yep.
Right?
Right.
It was social commentary.
He made a whole zine about that, right? He's talking about other shit that was going on TV with you know what I mean? And I really that's
but my whole thing is like it's like if you think about it, how
what he's doing basically, right, isn't coming. The only thing that's coming from him is maybe the gesture, right?
Yeah.
But the actual content, the main thing, the main things coming from
the subject.
is yes, the subject is it's from what he's seen and from society.
Yeah. I know he
He's
just
putting
draws it in
in
a different way.
a very nasty, uncut way for you, so you could be like, "Wow, this is really disturbing." But you know what? It's disturbing that people are actually doing this shit.
Exactly.
And I'm giving you a nasty look at what I envision of what people
when I hear it. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
This is what I feel and what I see when I hear about a fucking pastor,
like,
molesting little boys.
Yep.
Or it's like that subliminal thing. It's like, what's one of the subliminal things you hear somebody say? Like, oh man, take it right up the ass. Like he gave it to me up there. You know what I mean? Like when somebody gets over on you, they give it to your ass. It's like almost like he used sodomy a lot in almost everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's almost like, what's the biggest way to violate somebody? Would be that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Almost like I'm just using of being violated
sodomizing a man, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Basically a man. It's like that is like the ultimate, like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like people are like, and it's like not even man. That would take it and we go youth. Because why? Because youth are innocent.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And to make a shock value of like this shit's going on, we don't want to see that. They're innocent. Yeah, I know, but this is happening. He went at religion a lot. Like that one comic I thought was funny because it was right at the time of the Your Brain on Drugs campaign. So he said, this is your brain. The two eggs. This is your brain on the Bible. You know what I'm saying? When they're sizzling on the Bible. Like that was a statement. And when he was breaking it down, of where these things came from, but his first interaction with religion, when they were, you know what I mean? His first interaction with the lady who fucking shoved the cupcake in the kid's face.
Yeah.
For no fucking reason.
For no reason. And you see how they like broke and was laughing. It was like, wait a minute, hold up. Any reason for that?
Yeah. They were like, can we get some context to that?
Get some context. He was like,
he starts laughing. He's like, there is none. That's just
you gotta know he saw it and it fucked him up as a kid and he got the hell out of there. It's just like your introduction to people and fucked up shit they do can really take part and manipulate the way you think of shit, man.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like these are your first experience, your learning experiences. Like you get robbed from somebody younger. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate, but it's like, if somebody white gets robbed by somebody black at a young age, then more than likely they're probably going to have this like weird thing towards black people robbing you. You know what I'm saying? It's
of course.
It's going to be that everybody forms their opinions off their experiences.
Right. My white boss keeps giving it to me. You know what? Well, these fucking white guys, man, these white motherfuckers are just, you're talking about a couple particular that you affected you personally in your life and you've turned it down to everybody's that way. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. But nah, his drawings, man, they were wow.
They were fucked up, but Raps, also I think that people get more mad that he drew it over it actually happening. Because like you said, kids are getting molested by priests out there, and because he drew it in a comic book, now they're mad at him. Hey, what about the fucking priest that's fucking kids? Maybe go be mad at him.
Because he took it, he put gore, like he's into gore. He took a life situation of things that are going on, and he put his interpretation, because chiming back into when he was a youth, you've seen he was deep into gore, blood, guts. That was his thing. Anybody that draws that way or do that, or I'm pretty sure fucking Quentin Tarantino probably had a couple episodes of Boiled that Angel.
Yeah, so some weird shit. Right?
You know what I'm saying? Like
that's
his
Benicio
realm.
del Toro, the dude that does the most goriest shit for movies. You know what I'm saying? You mean to tell me he probably wasn't? You know what I mean? Like, come on, man, cut it out.
Yeah.
Like these people are fucking artists. Like they exist. Like they are people that exist that have a vivid and extra out there imagination, and they bring it to life. They bring it to life how? In books, in paper, in song, in movies, in paintings, in poems.
Paintings. It's funny you say that with paintings, because if you remember there was a couple paintings I remember at the art gallery in the early European section, and it was like around the 1600s century, 1600, 16, 1700s. But when you look, there was one of them that it was called the Purgatory, I think.
Yep.
But like the shit that was drawn in there for that time, you're like, this guy must have got the same kind of shit. The kind of weird, crazy devil serpent things that don't even exist. And you think about it, how does a guy get references like for shit like that back then?
Yeah. They probably thought he was crazy.
Right. You know what I mean? So you could imagine that kind of person back then. They probably fucking had, and back then they took justice in their own hand. They didn't go to court, nigga. They just took you out back and fucking did you.
Oh yeah, they say, oh my God, you created this. You're a witch or you're a demon, whatever. We got to exercise. Boom.
We got to kill you. Now you got to die.
One thing I like that Mike said
Right.
was
Right.
when the woman kept telling you were sexually molested, you were abused, when he said, no, I wasn't, but it's also none of your business, because
Exactly.
She
you know
took it
what?
as like because he said that. It's true.
Exactly. Because that's the thing too, where you got to understand that not everybody is ready to talk about things. Because I'm not even gonna guess if he was molested or not. Because like I said,
Right.
sometimes, bro, you can't judge somebody on how they get it out of them. Some people go to the gym and lose their fucking mind and
Right.
bench press and run a fucking million miles. Other people draw some fucked up and I don't know what it is, but everybody needs to get it out of them. Whatever it is, the stress that you got, the mental shit that you got, whatever it is, the feelings when you just
Right.
want to scream, and some
And
people
it's
scream.
right. And that's
Whatever
crazy
the
you say
fuck it
that
is, you have
because
to get it out of you.
right, but they think it was.
Sometimes I
Oh,
jerk off.
he's
I'm sorry.
expressing.
Yeah, so
He's
get it out.
get it
I'm
out.
sorry. I'm
But
sorry.
he's
I'm
like
sorry.
he's
Too much. I
expressing
went too
ways
far.
that
I'm
he's gonna
sorry.
become. He's expressing ways he's gonna become this. So no. If you really think about it, if you go into the history of serial killers and shit, those usually are guys who fucking those guys who compress feelings
Exactly.
and shit. They compress. They
Yep.
don't let because what do you always hear?
Well,
I never saw it coming. We didn't know Jeffrey
yeah.
Dahmer was doing shit like that.
Exactly.
We didn't know who the
Yeah.
son of Sam was. He was such a nice guy. He
Yeah.
was a great neighbor. Yeah, he
Yep.
fucking compressed all that shit, man, and then fucking snapped.
Yeah. He
This kid
didn't
is
let
doing
it out.
drawings, right? He's letting it
Yeah.
out. So maybe if he had those, like you said, maybe secretly we don't know he had those intentions. Well, maybe he by him doing this is him running away from that. You know,
Yeah.
The
that's
ones
crazy.
you worried about is the ones that were killing cats, man, for no reason, or the ones that were
Exactly.
killing dogs and squirrels for no reason.
For
Those are the
real.
guys. Those are the
But
guys
Right.
you got to watch.
If you're
But
into like torturing and shit, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's always interesting how say like maybe like an older woman in her 50s. What was the shit? Well, I'm so mad I'm gonna write a letter and then just not mail it. So that's literally the same shit. She got it out of her what she wanted to fucking say, and
Yep.
so now that makes her better and feel better. To me, that's all Mike was doing. He was fucking drawing his shit. Now it's out of him. It's out of his head. He's fucking done
Right.
with it. Whatever
and it's
it
so
is.
funny because like growing up, I remember that cat. You know what I mean? I don't know him, but you know what I'm saying? I remember that
Yeah.
dude, like the certain introverted
You
kind of dude.
see
I
them
remember that
around
cat.
here
The
all the time.
artistic, introverted, long-haired dude from the 90s, you know, might have
Yep.
been into some Nirvana or some shit. He was kind of like he didn't really socialize with people too often. He was just
Yeah.
different.
Thought it was
You know what I'm saying?
weird. You know what I'm saying? You know what I
Right.
mean?
And I
was
remember growing
standards.
up and not hearing those guys in the those kids' names in the newspaper for being serial killers. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? They're just awkward,
Right.
introverted. They're not with the normal beaten path of everybody
Mm.
else. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man. I'm sometimes a victim to this. You know what I mean? I admit. You know what I mean? Like, bro, just because like somebody's not into my culture, which is like the hip hop and the morals and all that, just because somebody is not in that type of culture with those type of morals, don't make them wrong, don't make them right or indifferent either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just not into what you're into, and
Yep.
I had to learn that. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
really, it took me like a
Right.
while to
Well,
learn
that's
that. You know what I'm saying?
you know what's funny you say that because you know being more and I think we talked about this before five of inner city pressure. You know, I remember we all talked
Mhm.
about it. I think on the last when we did the
Yeah,
last
yeah.
doc.
Yeah. Yeah.
That inner city pressure of having to be a certain way, man. That
Yep.
a lot of
Maybe,
it's almost
maybe.
you kind of go with that pattern. It's like you can't come to school without if everybody got J's and Jordans is what it is. Don't show up in no New Balances. You know what I'm saying? If that ain't what it is.
Maybe I am a product of my environment. In
No,
that, in
I
that
think
aspect.
we all are. I mean, because
You know
like I
what I'm
said,
saying?
I tell five. I said sometimes, like I said, sometimes I fight with that because I've always been that person that
Yeah.
never really was like I wasn't too fatty, like into the fads. But then there was a part of me that did indulge and did dive in. You know what I'm saying? So I get kind of that part, but you know, I
Yeah.
mean, it's too expensive of a
But you
diet.
was always a smooth dude though, bro. You
I have
always
my
were
own.
smooth in
I try to
general.
have my
You know
own
what I'm
thing,
saying?
but you know, it was still of what fashion code of certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah, it
wasn't
wasn't all the way out the box.
I wasn't all the way out the box. Like you know, kids like you know I'm you know that
Oh,
cat.
okay. I see what you mean. I
I'm
see what you
gonna
mean. All
say
right.
I'm gonna say
Right.
you know my man like the
Nah,
dude
but
he ain't gonna never see this, but the kid Asman. You know what I'm saying? You remember him?
why the fuck did I thought you said,
Because
bro?
you know exactly the
Holy
kind of person I'm
fuck!
talking. He didn't fit the
I was
mold.
just about to say, dude, son, the first black dude with the blonde fro.
Right.
You
He
know
was
what I'm
like he
saying?
had the floaty pants. He was tall, dark-skinned
Yeah,
cat with the weird
yeah.
hair, blonde, and he had the floaty pants and And of the neighbor of people that was like, yeah, all right,
But
that ain't what it is.
he could flip it and bounce it because he used to. He came. There was
But
times where
he'll tap
he
into the
had
streets
his,
a little bit because he had a little
yeah,
street in him because he was around,
yeah,
but
right,
he didn't
right,
really get
exactly.
full acceptance because he wasn't
Exactly.
the normal beaten path of what the neighborhood was doing.
Because we saw him weird because we thought he was like
Right.
weird.
So
You
he's
know?
the Mike Diana in his own sense. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying?
Correct.
It's like
I agree.
Mike was that.
Agree
That's why I said they gave Mike a lot of shit. And it's like, yo, the kid's just an introverted, awkward kid
That's
that
all, man.
he's got a skill of drawing. It wasn't like he was garbage at drawing. You know, he could draw a comic, but he just drew disturbing shit to your person.
You know what? And I'll tell you, he definitely could evoke emotion because I definitely had a visceral reaction when I saw the shit. I was like, whoa,
whoa, right. There's no way you can look at it. And when that guy was saying, remember when the guy was saying, when Mike, the guy that discovered Mike, remember that? He said he was going through all the veins. You know, they would pick people that they put out. He was like, they were all crazy. Yeah. He said they were all. He was like, listen, all those veins were all fucked. They're all fucked up. You know what I mean? It's like that's that underworld. That's where you're gonna get that. You know what I'm saying? He said, but his kind of just jumped out more than anybody. Like, whoa, like this is like really like takes it beyond what anybody else is doing right now. You know what I'm saying? So it was like.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, think about it back in the day. Everybody did metal music forever. Everybody did shock shit. And then think when Marilyn Manson came out. People were like, whoa, okay, he's different. He's different. Man, we're hearing rumors of him throwing puppies in the crowds and everything. You know, he's taking his ribs out. Like, come on, man. He, like you said, there's always that one guy that just goes above the rest. We're like, okay, these are fucked up, but this one is sitting on top right now.
This one is like, I don't,
bro. I know a guy that used to have a pig as a fucking room.
Whoa.
As a what?
An actual pig, live pig, lived with a live pig in his crib.
As a pet? Yeah. You told me right at the block. I seen it. I don't know.
Come on. Terry. Yeah, Terry. Like literally, bro, literally. The pig just, what's up? Right? And guess what? And son used to always have baddies in the crib.
Yep.
Man, the pig in it.
I'm telling you, you got that you got that one extra thing. Exactly.
Right. It makes you different. Yeah. You know, girls like that shit. He's so different. He's got a pig. I want to play with his pig.
Yo, so but about 20 minutes ago we went for it, but yeah, please, Raps, go into his childhood movies that he was making.
Oh yeah. Man. So he was talking about when he was younger and he was able to get his hands on a little film, you know what I mean? A little camera.
And I think his dad bought it for him because remember they were saying he didn't talk much. So they were like, hey, maybe he'll do this.
No. He saved up money for it.
I thought that was afterward. No. That was
the
afterward,
second one.
I think. That was the second time. The first round his pops gave it to him. Because
Yeah.
that's when he was making them and they were real young. Remember that? Because when they were making the movies, he was like fucking 11 years old, bro.
He wasn't working
yet. No, he wasn't working yet because there was 2 times he talked about getting a camera. The second time was when he
I must have slipped the first time.
Yeah, the first time his dad had slipped him in. You know what I'm saying? So they had the camera. You know, and he said he tried to give it to him. So he, like he said, he was having problems in school. They were saying all this. He doesn't talk.
I thought that was his brother that he gave it to.
He made his brother star in his movies.
Right.
But
his brother, he put in all of them.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah, he had got the camera, so he decided,
okay.
He was into all of it when he was already into the comic books and he was already into the EC comics. He was into the EC comics, so that gore shit was already there for him.
Yeah,
and then when he got that camera, and when they were showing the home videos that this kid was putting together,
so was a fucking genius the way doing
it.
He
probably could have been a special effects person in Hollywood if he probably didn't get the raw deal when he was younger.
Yep.
You know, nobody was there to help guide that man's talent to where it should go.
Well, and too, one of the things he was saying is the reason that he liked drawing and the reason that he went away from movies is because with movies, he had to depend on a bunch of other people and he had to try to corral people and all that. And then with drawing, he knew he could just do it himself right there. But like you're saying, what he was doing with the movies, man, some of the shit was innovative with the, I would have never thought he had the girl's body separated and the shit. Well, it looked like part of her body was probably, in a hole.
He had a lot of
things
he was squirting out. Like he had things coming out that looked like the blood was really squirting all over the place. And, when
the visual effects was there at that time. At that time, the visual effects, I think, were for his age, was to me like
I want to
Yo.
take a picture out of P's book and just say the abortion of the sister.
Oh
Yes.
my God. Yo, what the fuck?
Yes.
And her response was like, yeah, I'm glad I did it. Whoa.
Yo,
Yeah. He said, no
that
problem.
is-
We'll just that's the avenue you knew at that point he was geared to be where he was gonna be making comics.
oh
man.
yeah,
He was already had that, it was already there. You know what I'm saying?
bro. When he's doing like that shit was disturbing because he's got on the home
Yeah.
video. He's throwing fake punches at the stomach, and then she's like, "No, stop! I'm pregnant." And he's like, "Well, we have to have an abort." And he goes and gets the fucking the hanger, the coat
It's
hanger.
crazy because, like I said, we can laugh at it now, but it's like it's funny to look at it. But to me, I would never find that funny enough for me to do it. You know what I'm saying?
No way.
It's kind of funny because you see it. It's like I shouldn't laugh, so it's kind of funny, but I shouldn't really laugh. But that's some shit that I would never do. No shit like that. I couldn't be comfortable enough doing it. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So it's like it takes a
but-
different
but
kind
you
of
gotta-
person.
But you gotta understand also, man. He's doing it all for fucking film purposes. He's not really trying to say he's gonna do this in real life. Like Jason is it? You're not gonna see Jason in the like. Come on, man. This is for movie shit. You know
I got
what
a
I'm
fun
saying?
fact about Jason Voorhees just because you said his name, and I just saw something recently. My favorite football player growing up a long time was Bo Jackson,
Oh yeah.
and he confessed after his career was over. He had an interview when the guy was talking about, there was a guy had a seminar talking about NFL players and their alter egos. Like Brian Dawkins had Wolverine.
Okay.
Fucking Bo Jackson came out and admitted after he was all done. He goes, "That's who my alter ego was, man. Jason Voorhees, who he fucking idolized, and he was cold. He was, you know what I mean. He didn't talk. He just took care of business, and that's who he idolized as far as alter ego wise when he played. I thought that was interesting. Only because you said Jason Voorhees, I wanted to share that.
Yeah.
Like holy shit, Bo. Word? You was Voorhees on the Vegas?
So you know what I mean? That's I think that was the angle that the kid was coming in. But the thing that makes it amazing to me, is this kid is maybe what 10, 11?
Right, 11, right.
Around there, and the capacity of understanding of what he's doing is what amazes me. It's like, all right, we're gonna do this like this. While I'm doing this, I need you to be doing this with the blood. So, we need to make the blood look like that. Of course, it's not going to be real, but I'm going to make it look real. I need you to be acting a certain way and doing this and like choreography.
Right. He was directing it.
That's funny because, you said that. I wonder if they interviewed like directors and stuff now and if they were like that as kids. Because I bet you they were. I mean, that's interesting.
I can see that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? Like the way he was putting everything together, the way he was quarterback and everything. I was like, yo, this kid is a genius. You know what I'm saying? To really understand it in that capacity, to do that, and in those instances, because he knew what reaction he wanted to get from the viewers at that young of an age. So like, I couldn't. Yo, it was just mind-boggling to me, man. How really. You know what I'm saying? When he got involved with the fucking court in his court case and shit like that, like how that shit was going down for him. Like I just really couldn't believe it, man.
And to tap back into his childhood from what he was saying from the beginning parts, he said he had a good childhood, man. Because they were so busy trying to feel like they were trying to give him some. Father was a drunk alcoholic, a woman beater, molester. None of that, man. He had a good father. His father was like, his own parents were like, listen, I know his father was a science teacher. His own parents were like, listen, I don't know. I embraced them. You know why? Because they allowed his son to be, you know what I mean? They allowed him to kind of be a free spirited. His mom actually geared him that way. What she started doing, taking him to museums everywhere.
Listen, mom got her head cut off in one of the films. All right? Don't forget about that. Don't forget about that.
What? You want to do what? All right, you can come.
Mom's right, and that's the kind of fucking you gotta love a mom like that, cause she's like, listen, ain't no mom's doing. My mom wouldn't have did no shit like that for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, Ma, I need you to be in the movie. I'm gonna cut your head off. She's like, get down out of go play. You know what I'm saying? I am trying to play, Mom. You know what I mean?
Right.
You wouldn't have got involved with that shit. Moms was riding dying since back then. Like, look, what do you want me to do, son?
Vicky would have looked at me and been like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Right?
Should have said
cut my
it.
head
Should have
off.
said. Wait. Should have said it in English and Spanish, nigga.
Yeah. Like, why do you want to cut my head off? Why you hate me or something? Why you telling me you don't love me? You don't love
That's
me no more?
funny.
You hate
She
me?
dive into the deep rooted thing.
Get into it. Yep.
Your mom
You
would
need
have. Yeah, I
something
know.
else.
Love
Right
mama.
then
She
and
would.
there.
She definitely would have been like, something else is going on, Joey. Something else is
Yeah,
going on.
like what? Shit.
Yo, but,
Yeah.
but
It's
with
only for a movie. I don't
Yep.
care. You don't love me.
I think they're
All right, never mind.
I felt like there was something weird with the dad because do you remember when they were talking early, some of his early drawings where they were saying when he was in school, they were saying that the teachers told like the parents that like you couldn't leave marks on kids. So they were saying that his father would pull his hair then. That shit was
Right.
fucking weird to me.
That was
That
the
shit was
hair
weird.
pull, and then he would draw pictures of his everything he went through. He turned into
His art
illustration,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right.
Yo,
So with that being said, homegirl might have had an angle of maybe he was molested, especially when that picture came out where he drew his whole family naked.
That was odd.
That was odd. Like I don't know. I
Yeah.
did family pictures a bunch, but I don't think maybe he was just trying to be twisted at a young age. Maybe it's just his mind. But it's
I don't listen. To me personally, I don't think you know what I mean.
I don't know, but I think he was off. Maybe you know why he probably didn't though.
He was probably heavily disciplined, but not molested.
Right. You know why it's funny why he probably wasn't because I don't know why I noticed this, but when they showed the picture of his family with the nigga, some of the women had balls. So I don't know if you noticed that.
I didn't notice. I didn't.
I think the sister had a pair of testes. If the sister did, or the sister or the mother, she had a, so I said, okay, this kid doesn't know the anatomy, so perhaps it didn't happen that way.
Oh
he knows what he has, and he knows dad and him are the same. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what I'm saying. I what I got with the vibe, the strong energy and vibe I got was that the dude was probably very, very much disciplined. You know what I mean?
But there was something weird with dad though. Or dad, he might have been. I mean? Even like when fast forward when he's going to court and dad never showed up to the last one. You know what I mean?
Check me out. Run the store. Yeah, check me out. But the reason I say is because look, I mean, with me, I was disciplined a lot. You know what I'm saying? And what my dad would do with me, you know what I'm saying? Every time to really get my attention, motherfucker, right from the ear, man, motherfucker.
For me, it was the back of the neck. For me, it was the back of the neck.
So maybe the ear pulling that I used to get, he used to get the hair.
Yeah,
maybe that was his. You know what I mean? His father, like, you fucking asshole. Come here. You really want to fucking still not listen to what I'm telling you?
Come on with a bald head talking shit. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's why he's bald now. You know what I mean? But maybe that's,
too much hair pulling.
That's what I was getting. You know what I mean? He probably was disciplined a lot.
Yeah, could have been. Dad might have been a little hammer foot down, but I didn't feel molestation from him though.
Yeah, and another thing too, I think also is that was also his way of getting back at him. Like, fuck you, Dad. I'm gonna draw this. You don't like it? Good. I'm gonna keep drawing it.
I could see that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? How can us guys, and please don't take offense to what I'm saying, us normal average guys of human beings making this podcast, because I mean no disrespect and I'm not saying it whatever, but if us guys can put that together normally on a normal conversation, how the fuck a fucking district attorney for the state of fucking Florida can't put that together?
Because they wanted something else. They wanted an outcome. It wasn't. They weren't looking at the facts and then seeing what the facts came out to be. They said, we want this at the end. How can we make this do this? Remember Apollo 13? When like, these are the fucking ingredients we got, and we got to make a square hole. That's what it is, man. It's they just wanted it to
come on again where
it's somebody was offended and he wanted justice, and that's basically what he said. It was I got to get back at you. I felt slighted because I'm going too far ahead, but just to chime in of why they were led up to this whole prosecution is because they were investigating a serial killer. And some of the crime scenes supposedly match some of this comic book that somebody ran across. Like, what is this?
I could.
They ran across one of his comic books. Like, what is this? Oh, well, he's a lead. He's a lead. So they went and got his DNA and shit. Right. And then it's like
my point was to say this was that all you gotta do, man, is just pay attention a little bit to common sense. That's all. Just really, if you really want to get into it, just check it out, learn the backstory, and that's all you gotta. Like, come on, nothing. Molestation.
What it
no.
is I think it's a simple fix here. When people can't see into your home, they just like to make up what's really going on in there. You know what I'm saying? It's like when they can't peer into your window of your life, then automatically you're hiding something, and we need to know.
Right.
Like he said before, it's none of your business, lady. Even if it did happen. You know what I'm saying? It's not her business. Who the fuck are you? I gotta come here and cry to you and ask for what? For your forgiveness because you were right? So you can sit there and go, see, I knew it.
All right.
Right.
You want to cast an opinion, bitch? Pay my rent for a year.
Also, a lot of prim and proper people, they don't understand that different does not mean wrong. Like, so this guy is into the same thing as you. That does not mean anything besides that.
Five. Please say that one more fucking time. Please.
It's just different doesn't mean wrong.
Oh,
that's
man.
it.
Yes, man.
But you could tell.
Wow.
Yeah, for real. You could tell that the people were there talking about just like, oh my God. And there was that one funny lady who kept dropping like, the devil's gonna come to get you, but we want to save you. Like that one was
right. She got and it's it's crazy with people like that. Look at her eyes, man. There's mental health there with her,
right?
Because when she started looking, her eyes got like fucking 8 balls, and I almost became scared of her.
Yeah,
I'm like, you motherfuckers worry about Mike Diana. Look at this chick, man. She look crazy as shit.
For real.
Her fucking eyes are like she was fucking high on coke and shit. She's like, oh, Jesus is gonna get like
she was high off God. That's what it was. She was like,
right.
Oh, the Holy Spirit feeling that shit, and that seems crazy to me.
That was hilarious, bro. That was
going in. But it's okay.
And she was that like, it's that shit where like her nose was to the fucking camera. Like you don't understand how cameras work, boo. Like you can, give it like
back in 91, I guess no, 95.
I know, for real.
This shit went on. Oh man, but just to give a timeline, we never said a timeline. This was 91 when it went down between
about 91. Yeah.
Which does make sense because that's when say the Ghetto Boys were getting fucking they couldn't do shit.
They were on that Two Live Crew. You know what I mean? Oh, Dionne Warwick was on stand trying to take hip hop down. It was going down around that time, man.
Bro, are you kidding
West
me?
Coast shit.
And NWA, man, come on, NWA, come on.
They just were scared. I think at that
told
time,
them to chill.
Right at the time, people were just scared because it was breaking down this little confined wall that they put their kids and children in, and want to keep a space for them that they can control and keep them safe from them being expressional. You know what I'm saying? And where it's like, listen, so almost like I think about it is like, was that a fucked up thing? Because now we're the ones that raise the kids that we're saying are fucked up right now. but as a generation, maybe not personally, but you know what I mean? As a generation,
it's literally gone that way for every generation. That's
every generation.
How it goes.
It is. No, I'm not taking away from it. I think it's true. Like like you said, every generation from what you do is a trigger effect to the next one. It is.
Maybe we was aggressive and rebellious at a younger age. You know what I'm saying? Coming. You know what I mean?
Right.
But those, come on, man.
But remember those. But that era. I'm just gonna go by era. Not you. Not me. But that era of aggression went on to have children and became aggressive parents. Some of them. They didn't switch over. So now. You got a motherfucker that's in the hood, like, man, fuck that little, and being like stupid ratchet or something. Now he raising a kid, and it's cute for him to tell him, yo, tell that motherfucker suck your dick. Yeah, my dick. Yeah, that's right, my G. You know what I mean? Or people do that in the trailer park. You know what I'm saying? It's like
I understand what you're saying. Because
we took that wall of like, nah, we so open spirited that I think we overdrove it sometimes as a generation. So to the point of like we understood it and we get it. But we're not relaying that now to the ones that we're raising. Like, no. This is what it is. But just know that ain't real life, some of this shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't see that and go, okay, that rapper's up there fucking shooting. I got to do it because I love the music. And now I got to go shoot everybody.
Right.
I don't think that this new generation that's coming up, though, I don't think that they're more aggressive than our generation was. I think because of social media,
More
they're
babies.
so far apart from exactly. Yeah, I think
they're complainers.
they're
More
babies.
complainers,
Yeah.
right? More complainers, I'd say.
But also, I think with every generation, we're not going to understand it. Like to us, it'll always be weird that now that it's
right. Well,
guys are girls and girls are guys, and there's no difference between it. But
well,
this
I guess I mean
that's
by
growing up
aggressive
that
is like
believes that this generation that's growing up that believes that shit, that's going to be commonplace to them. So now the next generation after that, and eventually it's going to get to a point where like, what are guys? What are girls? None of this shit matters. It's just everything's going to get farther away. And that's how they were in the 40s and 50s. They were trying to hold on to what they were doing in the 30s. And everyone's just trying to hold on to what they did when they were growing up. And it's just all going to slip away eventually. And we're going to not recognize shit in the future. And that's just how it is. It's nothing that we can stop. It's just not.
Right. And when I say it's just a responsibility of certain things of, I always say this, like, listen, man, when I was raised by motherfuckers in the 80s and shit, or 70s and 80s, man, my parents there was partying going on, man. You know what I'm saying? They was still getting it in type shit. It's like you kind of are showing these things. When I say aggressive, I guess not, I mean like them physically. I just like, it's more of the, not aggressive, I guess more of a fuck it mentality, I guess, has been introduced more. Like, it's cool to say, like, there was a group of kids back in the day that were like, thought they were cool to be like, fuck it, man, fuck school, fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, they thought they were cool. There's a little handful of them.
Yeah.
Now it's like the popular thing to be like, fuck school.
Yep.
Fuck that. Fuck education. Fuck them. Fuck, fuck Columbus statue. Let's take it down. Like, don't give a fuck about Columbus statue is not making me lose sleep, man. That ain't helping me pay my bills, and the sure as hell ain't stopping me. You know what I mean? So it's like there's other things to be complaining about besides a fucking statue. I get it. I get the importance of getting rid of it. I get it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he should be idolized, but what I'm saying is like we're so far beyond that shit that we should be on to other better things to be worried about.
I understand that, but back to the to the case. Well, to Diana when with the lady and all that other shit, right? It all should have been, my opinion, should have been canceled when the reporter was like, when we're talking, with the people, they're just having normal conversation, boom, boom, boom. But as soon as the cameras turn on, all of a sudden they're crying, they got complaints, they're, the tears, everybody's worried, everybody's shouting, they got signs up. Signs go, cameras off. No, then they go back to normal talking,
It was a performance. It was all performance.
And I'm like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like seriously. But and another big fuck you was to the fucking prosecutor, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can tell.
Like you said, when they played themselves, when they didn't get that DNA on them, he felt slighted. Like, well, we can't let this go. And what's fucked up is after that happened and they freed the dude, they didn't even bring that case up again until fucking 2 years later, man.
Yep.
That's crazy. He got tried 2 years later after that shit. Like somebody stewed on. My thing is like somebody stewed on it for 2 years. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Get over it, cuz.
He should have been left alone, but they didn't leave him alone. You know what I'm saying?
They said what was it? They said the plug. Oh no, that's what the story was. Another story happened somewhere else.
In Canada.
Remember, and that person in Canada, and that guy got off the hook. So that person took it and it's like, yo, don't let this happen to you. And kind of gave him the heads up ball with it and said, you need to open up about this because this is what's going on.
Because it's this guy, Mike Diana is influencing my guy up here in Canada. You know what I mean? So he got off. So now check this out. You need to handle it because it came from your and it came from you guys.
From Florida to Canada before the internet. It's not supposed to happen that way. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, but that's one thing. Cops can't stand to be wrong. Like me, this was 15 years ago when I got pulled over for, quote, stealing my own car. I'm pulled over for 45. Bro, exactly. I'm put because I matched the description. The car matched the description. I'm pulled over for 45 minutes. And to every question they're asking me, I'm telling to them, look in the glove box. It's my car. Look in the glove box. It's my car. Long story short, everything, they pull me out, put me in handcuffs, put me in a car. They search my car, tear my car apart, all that other shit. They found it's my car. and they gave me a ticket for, I forget what they gave me a ticket for, but they gave me a ticket
just to cover
basically
their ass.
for them being wrong. Like it was,
Right.
I forget, it was disturbance or something, like garbage ass $85 ticket for, because they pulled over the wrong car and they thought, you know what I mean? They thought they fucking had me. They was like, oh, we got him. And that's like this case here. They, oh my God, we got him. We got the guy. How lucky are we that we got the guy? Oh shit, it's not him.
Let's get these drugs.
Oh, well, let's go for something else. Let's try something. And it's like, man, just, it's okay to be wrong and then be like, fuck it, man, we were wrong. Shit, my bad. Let's move on to someone else. Like, but they can't do that.
Diana blood on their hands, bro.
For real.
They wanted that man to spill everything he had. He was a young. I mean, shit. When they were trying him, when that first went down, 91. I mean,
when he had hair.
Yeah, I mean, right. He had the long fucking. He was born in '69. I saw. So you know.
Yep.
You know,
he's 51 right now.
So he was 21, 22. Yeah. 21, 22.
They're trying to bury this man for the rest of his life because he's drawing illustrations that offend people. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to shout out to my girl Susie. She kind of was looking bad back in the 80s with the big hair.
Hell yeah. She was
this
hot.
girl, the stripper that was doing all the shit when she had that little joint. She had a little joint and she was squeezing. I was like, oh shit, Susie Carroll, nigga. What's her last name? I forgot. Susie Solar.
Stop it, please.
Susie Solar. Hey, Susie was hot.
How much shit go, man? Relax.
Well, you just listen. I'm gonna do all the talking. Cause listen, she was hot. That's all. And she was about him. She was like, but she, I think, was trying to ride the wave.
But you
like the fandom. She was trying to drive the fandom wave at some point, though. You know what I mean? But how she said she met him. I think he needed somebody to talk to. Like, let's just try to ride his wave because you've seen him in the media. Come on. And you knew you could do it because you was bad. You know what I'm saying? With the fake tits and shit. Like, come on.
You don't understand. Solar. I'm not even. Yo, listen.
The look. Hello.
Look, I'm talking about now. Too.
Now, yes, the now is the way. I almost like now better than then.
Yes, that's what I mean.
But that then for the 80s was the shit though, with the big hair. You know what I mean? That's what it was. You know what I'm saying? She was doing it for her time, and then now she transferred pretty nicely. It was like, wow. You did better than Mike did.
Together. She kept it together.
She did better than Mr. Diana did because that nigga look about 80.
Yeah.
6 years old.
Stressed the fuck out.
That trial beat his ass in the 90s, I think.
Yo, but that's the thing too. Like Mike was stressed the fuck out because
he
always thought the cops were still gonna come back and get him, which bro, he had a good reason to be stressed out. Because
remember the one when he's sitting there? I know, remember he's sitting there and he's like,
detective.
Hold on, detective's like, why are you scared? He goes, yeah. Why they might what he said, sodomize me with their nightsticks or what?
No,
why did you immediately go there, Mike?
The dude still has a warrant in Florida.
Yeah.
No.
The problem.
Did you watch the end? You
well, not end, now, but he did.
I did.
At the end of the document, at the very, very end, when they were doing the writing, the team. Shout out to them, yo. The team that put together this document, they paid it off.
That's right.
Right, they paid it off for him. But he did have a warrant for mad long, 30 years later type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I'll be nervous
years later. Right.
Shit. When I first came home and I saw cops, nigga, I got nervous, even though I was free as a bird, innocent, and not done.
And that motherfucker was 20 years past that fucking whole thing, and they still.
But
when he moved to New York, though, that's where it's needed.
Here's where he blew the fuck up.
Right, it's like, yeah, you're in the wrong state, bro. That's not an art state. And, you need.
And
that.
I love that artist, the English guy. I loved him throughout the whole documentary, man. The long nose fuck. Yo, bro, love
the long nose, Johnny Long
nose fuck.
Yo, because shout out to him because he's I was under the pressure. He's coming from England, right? He even said it. He's coming from England, and the only reason he's coming to America was the First Amendment.
Yeah,
that's huge, man. That's huge. Where you could come here and say what the fuck you want, be who the fuck you are, and that's it.
You ever
right?
see it? That's funny because you ever see like a little Arabic dude that come over here and when he start getting onto the American cussing, he love it. Oh motherfucker, fuck you!
Yeah.
Oh, you enjoy this little? You can't do that shit back home. You enjoy this First Amendment? Right. Oh, okay.
Right. Dude, and you can ask anybody that came from a communist country like Colombia, shit like that. They all love it, and they can't. And those are the people that are fighting for our rights and saying like, you guys don't understand what you're doing with these laws.
Yes.
You're turning
And
yourself
what do
like
you have?
when Bernie
Yes.
Sanders would come out with his socialist shit. They're like, yo, no, you don't understand. We came from socialism. That's not the fucking wave. You don't want everyone to get, you get one loaf of bread, you get one block of cheese. Okay. And then that's it. Like, that's not what we want here. But
That's not the move.
you see
No.
people that move here are the people that are warning us of what our country's turning into. It's crazy, man. It's
Yes,
fucking crazy.
absolutely.
You gotta
Absolutely.
Work, you gotta work to prosper and strive. You can't just get it for not doing nothing.
So what he was saying, you know what I'm saying, was that, you know, what really fucked them, you know, what really like fucked the guys over in Tampa, you know what I'm saying, in Florida, was how the prosecutor was cocky, you know what I mean?
Mm.
How he was saying, yeah, they're not gonna be the whatever shops in San Francisco, and they're not also gonna be,
this is not gonna be the
crack
bathhouse
alleys in New York.
Yeah, there's not going to be the the bathhouses of San Francisco, and it's not going to be the crack alleys. It was like,
alleys of New York. What? What the fuck you saying?
What does
bro?
that have to do with anything? Yo, and
That's
and
that's
the
that
judge was in
filibuster
on that
shit.
And the judge was in on that shit because when dude's talking about making his final, when Mike's lawyers talk about, I'm doing my final statement, my closing argument, and in the middle of my closing argument, the judge goes, we're going to take a recess. How do you not just go, can we be adults here? What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, like how do you?
Because his lawyer was the guy with the mullet, right? His guy was with the mustache and the mullet. His guy,
like Lucas something.
Liquor.
Yeah,
I forgot.
to bring
Lucas
to bring
Licorice.
the, to bring the,
Licorice.
to bring the audience, you know, to bring the audience up to speed. You know, there's an agency for situations where people try to attack, you know, artists and things like that. There's a special committee. I forget
Like
the name of it, but there's a no, not the hip hop police. No,
I said like the I was talking about like the hip hop police are for something. But there's a committee for
that. Committee for these artists, for all artists that they, you know, like I'm gonna say probably joint purposes because they're the most that use this service, I believe, and maybe and I'm gonna say that they were the purpose because of it. So there's this committee that helps. And they find it if they find it deemable and if they find it worthy to do, they will assign legal counsel to help you if you cannot afford legal counsel yourself.
It was like a defense fund.
And they shitted on Mike and they shitted on him.
And no lawyers wanted to get his case, so he brought it up to them and they appointed him a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? And I respect that lawyer because you know what I'm saying? He himself, he's like, listen, my personal view, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the shit was fucked up. The shit was crazy with this, that, and the third. But guess what? My personal opinion don't matter. It's what the law is. And it's all about the First Amendment.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we have to protect that.
Now, was that a lawyer or was that one of the guys that came and took, he was an artist that was coming to take the stand for him? Was that a guy? Remember that guy with the glasses? When he said he almost had him on the phone? They were trying to ask him shit.
Artist. He was just a witness.
That was a different guy. Yeah. I was thinking about him, but it was real with him too. It was like, yo, he said I wasn't gonna do it until they was like trying to like. Then when the guy said that's not art though, I was like, oh, okay. Now I'm rocking with him. Nah, it's art. He said I never said it wasn't art, man. What I'm telling you is like it's not art that I'm into, but the shit is art.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Right, exactly. You try and bag him on that. You try and bag him and take away his artistry. Then let's go get this stand going.
Right. And even the guy in Canada, even about the teacher in Canada with the glasses, he teaches art. Like he teaches histories and things like that about art. And he's like, my main focus in my curriculum is Mike Diane because his story in his case is historic in that society. And that, you know what I mean, in that world they live in, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So like the way they railroaded him, I just can't believe it that even check this out. How we can believe the justice system is has a bunch of fuckery in the criminal side.
Flawed.
You know what I'm saying? With all the corruptions and this, that, and the third. It fucking is now even into this part of the side where they're fucking even jeopardizing our First Amendment, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's the grand scheme of it. You know what I mean? That's foul, man. That's some fucked up shit, bro.
That's why cases like this are so important because
how
the fuck does you know, and spoiler alert, Mike loses his fucking case. They really convict him of fucking obscenity, which
4 days in jail.
4 days in jail.
Probation for 2 years or something like that.
3 years of
3
probation.
years.
Because remember, outside when they were like, "Are you going to draw anymore?" He's like, "No." Well, yeah, but after 3 years, when I can leave this state.
Had to come. Yep. Because he thought he was going to
Crazy.
jail.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yo, but
He thought he was going to
the
jail.
harshness of, they basically told him not that he can't publish and put drawings out. They told him he can't draw anymore.
Yeah.
And we're checking
Period.
on him and checking his fucking house for fucking for illegal drawings.
Drawings. What
What the fuck
is
are
that?
we doing? We're not looking for kilos. We're not
Yeah.
looking for fucking contraband. This nigga got drawings, man. Of
Drawings.
his own fucking drawings that he's not doing any. He's like, I'm not even selling them no more. You just should tell me I can't draw by myself.
Bro,
Somebody
I
said,
think
"Get the fuck
I
outta
think that's where power gets to people because, all right, the judge who decided that, what the fuck are you doing? He can't
Right.
go home and draw
He
anymore.
That's
he
stupid.
needs to be this band. He needs to be this.
You
bar.
tell him he
It's
can't
his
sell
license.
this shit no more.
Vote.
You can't publish the shit and sell it, and you got it. That's it. You can't tell the fucking guy he can't draw no more.
That's
But
But
crazy.
yeah, you got
and
bitches,
that
you got bitches spreading their legs and taking pictures of that all over the place.
right, and that he was
What?
he was subject to non-warrant searches 24/7. That's
Yeah.
fucking, how are you not gonna like? No wonder the dude's a
Like I
fucking
said-
anxiety
Like I
ridden
said,
mess.
back again, once to him being nervous around cops.
Yeah,
Like, you would think like, and then what? Because he's that way, somebody's gonna be like, he must have got his ass beat by cops. No. It's like they had a probe up his ass for fucking the last 10, 15 years.
bro. Imagine
Just imagine.
24/7.
Yeah.
Anytime
Mhm.
that you're sitting home, say you're on Sunday watching TV, sitting at home watching a football game, at any point in your entire life, cops can knock on the door and be like, "Yeah, we got to check in here." Walk through your door, flip over everything in your fucking house, and walk out, and all that's fucking legal.
Because
Are
you're
you
talking about
kidding me? At some
at this
point, you're
point they're
gonna
looking
snap.
for paper. They're looking for papers.
With
You know how many different
drawings on
places
them.
you could slide papers at? They're gonna fucking flip your whole house upside down looking
Yeah.
for papers.
And
Not
they
like
don't have
you-
to put that shit back together. You know what I'm saying? They just wreck your whole fucking house and, oh, yep, that's fine.
Yeah, I would have. I don't know if his probation kept him in that state. Probably he had to stay there for.
And the bigger crime also in all of this was key to me was when the lawyer said that this case is not even talked about as much. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
And for me, because the shit is probably so wild and so wrong that I think I can't imagine anybody looking at this shit and just going, yeah, that's what was supposed to happen.
Right.
Like I said, even if
Exactly.
you're not a fan of the art, the shit is disgusting. The shit is
somebody
whatever it is.
somebody deep religiously vowed, or somebody that's deep with that belief, they're gonna run with that. The same way that lady was with the 8 eyes and like, we gotta pray for him. Somebody definitely like.
I feel you on that. Like, there's definitely people that think differently because, like the experience you had.
That's personal feelings. That's a personal feeling. That's personal. That's a personal feeling.
Especially like how you would run into people that say, if football players kneel, that they should go to jail. Like, what? How does that equate? You know what I'm saying? Like, the fuck are you talking about?
Go to jail. What illegal crime has happened here?
Right.
Exactly.
So same shit. Yeah, this motherfucker's drawing.
Right.
What illegal crime is that? Because even when they were saying, there was that one comic that he made that was the dude adopted the kid and he's raping kids and making dog food, and then the kid makes friends with the dog and he frees the dog and the dog kills the guy, and then the dog ends up raping him. And they're like, well, yeah, that's animal cruelty and it's like, it's a drawing.
Bestiality. They hit on a bestiality. That was their angle, bestiality charge.
It's a drawing.
What? He's like, what animal did I hurt? What dog is gonna come whimpering on the fucking stand talking about things I did to him? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, what are we talking about? Like that, like you said, that was a fuckery prosecution team in Florida, man.
Nobody died. The kid is just drawing, man.
Yeah.
So that just makes me believe that everybody that was arrested in Florida from the 80s to the 90s was probably innocent.
Right? That's some kangaroo shit. That's some kangaroo court.
You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody that's like, yeah, of course you were selling drugs. Nigga probably wasn't.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
But to me, that's why these type of cases are so fucking important, because it's one of those, they get away with this, then what's next? And then next thing you know, like I said, now
because they're going to always reference it. They're going to reference that towards anything that's relatable to that case. And then in that case won, so it's always going to seem like, oh, yeah,
exactly. So then that could be the standard of, well, we judge it against this, and if we I said, now it's bleeding into social media where you can't say, you do not have freedom of speech on social media anymore. You don't. That's what it is.
Obscene.
Right. I said
all of this because of the word obscene.
Yeah. And the 3-part definition.
Right. I think the best description too was that I forgot who the guy was, the professor or something or another artist, but he was like, it went down the way it did because of the time frame. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's not of what happened, it's when it happened. Cause shit like that come out right now, ain't nobody doing that. We're not
It's
shutting
nothing.
that man down. You know what I mean? We have so much fucking unfiltered
Well,
crazy
that's
shit.
that was what the DA was also, trying to hang his hat on the explanation. He's like, yeah, who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows down the line? You know what I mean? That
Oh, the DA saying that?
it
So I
might
didn't know
not
who was
be-
saying that. I know
yeah,
somebody was saying it. Yeah.
The DA was like, yeah,
That was
of course, down the line we can't say it's not going to be insane, but he's like, but it's not. It wasn't obscene right then and right now. And I said, you know what? That's a hunk of bullshit. Because you know what? Maybe 10 years down the line, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to say scratching my ass is obscene. Man, get the fuck out of here with that
it's right.
shit, man.
Oh no. Remember when Kobe Bryant said faggot and they fucking ripped his head off because he called somebody a faggot? Oh yeah. Certain things you just don't do, can't say.
Well, that's happening now. Think about all the people that are digging up old tweets and old jokes. Kevin Hart went through it 2 years ago, right? Where he couldn't host some fucking show because he said if his son was gay, he'd hit him in the head with a dollhouse. And it's like, are you aware that is a fucking comedian that made a joke? But now there's no more jokes.
Like,
everything is taken at face
value. Because now it's gonna go into this like it's gonna be so sensitive that we can't make like a masculine joke.
Yeah.
You can't make like I am woman, I am man, you are woman, and let's make a funny comparative thing without feeling like, well, you're really being offensive to women.
You could have stopped that sentence at I'm a man and you are a woman. That's offensive to fucking people nowadays.
Right.
But literally just saying I'm a man, you're a woman. People don't like that.
Are you telling me what to identify as?
Exactly.
No, I'm just telling you what you look like.
Bro, there's people like there's politicians out there talking about gender reveals are violent because you are forcing the gender onto a baby when it's still in the stomach. And like, listen, these are motherfuckers who are like, listen, abort as many kids as you want to, kill the fetus, that's absolutely no problem, but don't you fucking dare say that it's a boy if it hasn't announced that it's a boy yet. Like, where are we, man? Where the fuck are we? But that's
no more
like I said,
no more titties and ass jokes.
That's why this is such a slippery slope. And
I'm going to be in jail. If that's the case, we're all going to be in jail when we're fucking older.
How much? But you know, it won't even be that. It'll just be we'll be kicked off social media. That's what it is, because that's the shit next is that you can't give your opinion on social media or make jokes on social media. They just deplatform you. Like I said,
well, if they see if they see some Just Big episodes, they might come for a nigga neck.
Bro, when we were talking 2 years ago, how it was really cute and everybody was happy. It was real cute and everyone was happy that Alex Jones got deplatformed. And now when motherfuckers that they like are getting deplatformed, everyone's like, oh my God, what's going on? And that's what it is. And then every fucking tweet by the president has fucking quotations around it. Well, this might not be really true and blah, blah, blah. And it's getting scary out there, man. It's getting fucking scary of the censorship and what they want you to believe and then the path that they're taking you down.
Fuck the censorship, man.
It's crazy because it's like, were we wrong for having, like, maybe our censor button was a little fucked up, but we still got it. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's like, yeah, we know like there's insensitive and shit like that, but I don't know, man. We made it through that shit, man. I don't.
My guy.
We didn't have a bunch of mass school shootings, and when that shit happened until like Columbine was probably the first biggest one. You know,
but you know what? Too, you can take a joke. There's kids now that can't take a joke. That if you say a joke about them, and I'm not talking about bullying, I'm not talking about picking on somebody. I'm talking it may be just a joke, an off-color joke, or a normal joke, or whatever. Now they're in rehab, they're in therapy. They can't stay. Oh my God! And I need my safe space, and I'm not allowed. Nobody can talk, bro. People aren't strong anymore.
Is that really a problem, or is it just like we have created a bunch of people that know that they'll get attention from doing these things, and that's what they do?
Yeah, we created people that they want a utopia, and that's fine to want a utopia, but we do not live in a utopia. Bad things are going to happen to you at some point, and if you can't handle that, that does not mean that the entire rest of the world needs to change. I mean, you need to toughen up. And it's we're not talking about people being abused every day. We're talking life happens.
Right. Toughen up, motherfuckers.
Exactly. Toughen up.
Yeah.
Toughen up. Another t-shirt.
Toughen up.
Real.
Hey, millennials, toughen up.
That's it, man. Just toughen up. Like
That's all.
everything can be handled with kid gloves.
Right.
And like I said, once again, that's why this shit
We
is
can't
so.
all be winners, man. You know.
This shit is so slippery because you can't do these drawings. And then, so what's the next level of that? Then you can't do what's the next level of drawings that you can't do? Or is it just have to be up to Mike Diana standards? You know what I mean?
Right,
Like what's the
right? Exactly.
Yeah,
Heavy
it's
like heavy metal fucked me up, bro. When I saw that, like they had actual comic books, but then they had also a movie.
Dude, I love that movie. That shit is crazy to me.
Yo, that movie was like I was like this. I was
Heavy metal,
shocked, bro, watching that shit. Yeah, it's an animation. It's an animation movie called Heavy Metal. But it's like, you know, is on the like on that type of shit. Where, you know what I mean, nudity and you know, silent, you know, rape.
It's that
shit,
like hentai type shit.
No. It's not that.
No, it's like Americanized cartoon.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Right, but it's a movie. They made it into a movie. You know what I'm saying? And they got all that type of shit in it. You know what I'm saying? Like the opening scene was a fucking spaceship, and then in the spaceship you got the girl coming in, she's getting fucked, and you got the titties out. And I'm like, oh my god, what? You know
Shit, Ren and Stimpy was fucking edgy in cartoons, where they used to show like veins and fucking all kinds of like weird bumps and blisters and shit, all pulsating and oozing. Like that was big at the time. It's like, yo,
that's the one right there, like the one right. This one is in the middle. That one in the middle here with the little one right there in the middle. One down.
Oh, here?
One down. The heavy metal. Oh yeah. I remember seeing those. Yeah. I remember seeing those. I never was a big comic book reader, but I remember seeing those though.
That's the movie. The movie, not the comic, but the actual movie was.
I'm talking about that. I actually remember. I feel like I remember that font. It might be the movie font or something.
Yeah, the movie's dope. It's like I said, it's an animation, but it's fucking crazy, man. Like there's sex, there's weird shit, there's fights. It's one of those. You feel like you're on drugs while you're watching it.
Yep.
Put it up there with the Faces of Death in the 90s.
For real.
You know what I mean?
But it's nicer than that.
Yeah, a little nicer.
The thing too was, you know what I mean? There was morals at the end to those things. You know what I mean? Like there was a message, like also, at the end of all those. But there were short stories too. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
In the whole movie, there was a lot of little short stories, and there were morals in those little short stories. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that was the same shit this kid was doing, man. Like, stop it, man. Like, come on, man. Like, stop, man. Like that shit. They
dragged this kid through the mud for fucking years.
For nothing, man.
Some bullshit, and he ended up losing.
His legacy is not gonna. Well, his legacy is gonna be, now that I'm thinking of it. His legacy is gonna be two things now. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be the only guy to be convicted of obscenity, but he's also going to be the other guy that was the martyr of it. You know what I mean? So it's like almost the yin and yang of it with him. You know what I mean? I'm gonna choose. You know what I'm saying? To big up the artist side of him. Fuck that. Fuck the obscenity shit. I'm not even gonna acknowledge that. Yeah, even though it did happen. You know what I'm saying? It's fact or whatever. But fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it happened. All right, but I'm gonna choose to remember this guy for the art that he made. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because the dude's art was just crazy. Like pushing the envelope is an understatement.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And hey, if we put it into our context, into the rap thing, you know what I mean? He would be considered an elite MC.
Right. He was at the top of his game. He definitely, like, to get a visceral reaction from people.
You feel me? He would have been like an elite rapper. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I was scaling these things, man. You know what I'm saying? He would have been the Marlon Brando or the fucking Al Pacino in the movies. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If he was to become an actor, you know what I mean? You know, that's all. You know, so like, come on, man. Like,
you know what? I think Sean Penn would have played a nice Mike Diana.
Oh, I could see that. Yeah, the nose. They had the same nose.
Give him the long hair. That Sean Penn in the 80s was that was your Mike Diana right there, man.
For real. Yeah, man. I think he just got like the fucking the ultimate villain, fucking the DA Stuart Baggish. I think he had said it best. Yeah. Like you were saying, man. Just
that guy's called the fat guy in the chair, bag of shit.
Yeah, back
No,
I
no,
like that guy.
but even
I
better
like
that
guy.
when that dude, when he calls him a turd, that was the funny. He's like, "You fucking turd." That was just the funniest shit of all time.
Yeah, what's your lawyer's name? Oh, yeah, bag of shit.
Yep. He's like, wait, he's like, come down and try to arrest me, you turd. That shit
Yeah,
was amazing.
Yeah, nah, he was all about that.
Come see me, you fuck.
Yeah, one of the rare times you seen Mike fucking smile.
Yeah. Mike was laughing at that shit.
You're
But
fucking.
big ups to Mike though, man. The big ups to Mike though, because I can ultimately I give him the big ups. You know what I'm saying? Taking his life in his own hands, man. He took
Hey,
destiny in his fate
He
in his
went
own
down that
hands
rough
and said,
path,
you know what?
and it brought him flowers.
I'm
You know what I mean?
going out. I'm going out, man. Fuck this. I'm fucking going to New York and I'm staying there. Y'all know I'm not coming back here. Y'all want me? Y'all got to come fucking. Y'all got to come over here and get me. You know what I'm saying? And I like the way New York was like, you know what? We got murders and fucking actual real shit happening down here. So I'm not gonna give an assignment to a fucking actual on-duty officer to be knocking on this man's door to see if he's drawing or not.
Right?
Fuck out of here.
Fuck.
That's the dumbest
Get
shit I
the
know.
fuck
I'm
out
glad
of
somebody was like, yo, that's like, can you get the judge online? Can you get the judge online? What the fuck is you doing? Got me doing this dumbass shit.
You know
Looking for drawings. I think I got one. No, there's a direction. Or disregard. Just a doodle. Just a doodle. Just a doodle. What the fuck are we doing?
Just a doodle.
It's just a doodle.
And P, I know you touched on this a little bit. For as wild as his drawings were and as crazy as his comics were, they did have they took journeys, but they came back to a good story. Like even a weird one, the grasshopper boy shit, where it was a kid. The kid was getting molested by a family member, and then however the fuck it works, they break his legs and shove a piece of metal in his back and cut off part of his arms and skin. And then, but now he's out there protecting other kids from getting molested. Like it takes a journey, but it comes back around to being,
it's like, listen, he said, we're going to kill your father. That's the only way to make this right. And then you become one of us.
Yeah.
He killed him, they made him into a fucking human grasshopper boy. And he went around and killed anybody who fucking did that. So, you know, it's a superhero. It's like, he made it triumphant where it should have been like, no, this is wrong.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I mean, come on, some of them fucking dick shots, and it's like impaling babies with dicks. You know, I mean, that's it's kind of like it's a mind blowing visual to kind of like, whoa, what the fuck is going on right now?
Oh yeah, no, there were times when I was watching it where I'm like, damn, I hope these guys don't text me and just be like, yo, we're not doing this. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Because I
almost felt it when they started narrating them. That's when it kind of fucked me up a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't like those. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the narration ones. That's like, you could have shown me some pictures. I would have put it together myself.
Yeah,
they kind of made it real dramatic with them shits, you know. Well, I mean, it's because we're from that Beavis and Butthead type shit, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, once again, it's inappropriate humor that we enjoy because we're from that era. You know what I'm saying? Some of it was funny, but some of it was just like, I felt like I was laughing, but you know that I felt like I shouldn't. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like the way he was saying this shit was like, oh man.
The only one I can't front. The only one that I didn't laugh to was the one with the Bible and shit. You know what I mean? Because But
see, now that's also again because you were now offended. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, hey, listen, I laughed about the baby getting a dick shoved through his head. But you talk about the baby, we got something else.
I wasn't offended. But I didn't laugh as much because you know what I mean. It was the Bible, and
it was just something that means more to you.
I know it was more mental. So I said it was to you because it's like not for nothing, Pete. But somebody could be like, okay, so you didn't laugh at the Bible, but you laughed at the baby being fucked through its head. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Pete? Like you gotta understand that. That's like, whoa, that's not a good piece to put out there. Hey, I thought it was all funny until they started laughing about the Bible. Like, hold on, what? The baby through the dick was funny?
Because it's not. I mean, come on, like it's far fetched.
It's just so extreme. It's so extreme.
Right. Well, I feel like the Bible was too. I mean, it's all but somebody that's more religious is gonna be like, whoa.
But I'm because you know what I'm saying, like just as you're right. Yeah,
Right.
it's personal to me.
It's personal to you. That's what I'm saying. We're going
You know
back
what I'm saying?
into
But I
you might have
wasn't.
been on the
I
front
wasn't.
lines back then.
I
Like, come
wasn't.
here.
I
You
wasn't.
don't like this,
Nah,
motherfucker?
nah, nah, no,
No.
Nah, I'm fucking with you.
because I'm not like that. Everybody's belief is their belief, and
Right.
you know what I'm saying.
You just
I
can't
don't
fuck with
down
that
nobody because
personally.
of that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah,
If
you
it's
don't
on
fuck with
me,
it.
and I don't like it, I just don't exactly. And that's what I was telling. My girlfriend. I was like, yo, all this shit for what? All they had to do was just say, you know what, man, we're not even gonna pay it no mind. Just don't buy it.
That's
Don't
it.
buy it. Don't
All you
look
had to
at
do
it.
was leave it alone.
Don't pay it no attention. And you know what? It would have went
If it
right.
grows,
It
it
would have went
grows.
away.
Right.
Yeah.
It
You
would
kidding me?
have went away.
I mean, shit. They didn't even go that hard on trying to shut fucking Hugh Hefner down with Playboy.
Right.
Exactly.
They try to lock this kid up, man. Hugh Hefner was putting titties in front of in every America's living room everywhere across the country,
exactly.
man.
Exactly.
Putting titties out
Thank
there, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which was like, and at the time it was like, whoa, what are you doing?
Thank
But
you.
they ain't shut that man down.
And
That's
but guess what?
obscene,
If the
right?
people that didn't like if people didn't like that, what happened?
It's because
They
of what
just
they
didn't look
judge.
at it.
And that's always why I said that too, is because I was just saying that same kind of thought that you came in with was the same kind of process I feel like they had back then of what's decided to be obscene. Because for you, it was a little bit, it was funny until that part came, and it's like because of your personal beliefs, that was a little too much for you.
I
You
mean,
don't think it was funny.
no,
No, I was just
don't
giving a
get me
point. I'm not down on you. I'm just saying it's like that is almost kind of what they were like doing. It's like, well, I'm into certain things, but that's drawing the line, pal, because I say it was drawing the line and it was offensive to me. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what that town did to him, you know?
Yeah, but that's the point I'm gonna make though. I wasn't offended. That's the point. I wasn't offended. You know what I mean? He can make all the Bible jokes all he wants. That's cool. I'm not gonna take offense.
You just didn't like him as much as the other jokes.
Exactly. I just didn't laugh as
No,
much.
it was funny. Like I said, some of the things he's saying, he's like, you know, stuff my dick in your little tiny hole. You know, like it's just like what?
Yeah. I mean, right.
You know,
Don't
like
get me wrong. I mean, some of the dialogue, and I was listening. I felt well. You know, I was like, oh shit, yeah. You know what I'm saying, and shit like that. You know, with the Jesus and the cross and all that. I was like, oh shit, like whoa, like that type of shit. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Right. Like I said, I'm with you too, because I say personally, me with like the kids, the babies being sodomized and raped like that, like I couldn't put a smile on for those. You know what I'm saying? Some of them ones like were like the dog.
I understand.
Like the dog with the dog with the sharp penis fucking raping him. I could probably chuckle a little bit like, look at this dog raping him. You know what I mean? Like, see, but that's all. It all goes by borderline. You know what I mean? Like, to me, I can't look at it. I can't look at the innocence of a baby being impaled by a penis and be like, you know, that's just me. It's like I can't do it. You know, but like you said, I'm like you too. I'm not gonna go ahead and have that man's head on a spit now.
You know what? You know what was the one that fucked me up was the dog one, because I didn't see that coming at the end. You know what I'm saying? To where the kid freed the dog, and it's like, oh, and then the dog's raping him too. Sob.
Oh man, sob. I don't know. You know what made it funnier? It was the guy who was fucking doing the voices, man. That's
he
that's what it was. You know, it's like because he got so animated with doing it. Shut your fucking face, give me your fucking pie hole.
Yeah, right. They went hard with it like that. But you know, the other thing too that I think they did skip over a lot was the relationship with the father, because for the father to find out that his son was on trial by the newspaper, there was a disconnect there, guys.
And then on top of it, like he needs your support now more than any dad. You can't find somebody else to run the fucking store. Come on, man.
I know. Remember that excuse.
Guys, I'm trying to tell you.
Well, you know, I had to run the store. I can't really support my son when they're trying to fucking throw the book at him in the court system. Sorry.
That's
like
why I said. That's why I said that.
A little guilt on dad.
He was more disciplined than molested. So the father discipline on him, he probably didn't like and rebelled from that. You know what I'm saying? His father was a science teacher, probably wanted him to be a productive member of society,
aka one of his students,
or maybe, you know what I mean, something, maybe a cop or fire, something deemable of worthiness in society at the time.
In his standards, right?
In his mind. And the son was like, yo, dad, fuck that. Fuck what you trying to make me be. I'm being me. I'm not fucking with that. I don't like that. That's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's that disconnect where the father can't get through or can't find a way to get through to the son. And the son is like, you know what? I'm not going to be what you want me to be. I can see that 100%
Oh yeah.
happening. You know what I mean? And the behaviors and characteristics after that. Because, you know what I mean? I've witnessed these certain situations in family members and friends and their family interactions.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So I can definitely identify with that theory in that
Yeah,
scenario.
it's funny because you know, when you say that, because with Mike talking about his family and stuff, it didn't feel like there was, like you said, that disconnect with Pops. He didn't really, like, there was never really a shot in the whole documentary of them standing together. You notice that?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think I've seen any shots where they were actually together. Oh, there were shots with him and his mom. But yes, and I mean, like you said, his mom was in this fucking video getting her head cut off.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Dad didn't seem supportive over almost anything he did.
Right. I think because his dad found out that he was into this weird shit,
Yeah.
didn't approve. Mom was more like, listen. Mom was more
Let
like,
him be a
listen,
free
man,
spirit. Let him be.
let him be who he's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Came out to be a mama's boy, I guess we can say.
Right.
Yeah, I guess.
My son's
You know
into
what I mean?
art.
More of a
Let me
mama-
take him to the museums and help him hone his craft, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mom was
shit.
the go-to, the one that always supported. So, you know what I mean? He kept going with it. You know what I'm saying? And mom was in movies. You know what I'm saying? So, oh yeah, I could. Dad, man, hell yeah, I could definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Dad, they might have picked some more scabs off of Dad. I don't know. He seemed a little too
Right.
cool.
No, but I feel what you're saying, where he's just like, well, you know, yeah, I couldn't go because, you know, I had to run the store. When it's like, ooh.
But you see
you know
the
what?
pain.
And-
That's a
and-
bad.
You see the pain in his eyes, man.
Right.
When he was almost gonna cry, man. You saw the pain, the way he was
Yeah.
going.
And you know what? And I think that was bullshit that when he said that about the store because he knew they wasn't gonna film it. No, nigga, I think you was really trying to get a cheap plug. But that's
Hell
just me.
yeah. That
He
was
said,
that
I
was a
wasn't trying to
fucking
get
lie.
a plug. I just said it because I knew they weren't gonna play me in the news
Yeah.
at all. You lying ass nigga. You put it hoping that they was gonna do it and they didn't, so you tried to go with that story.
Yeah,
Oh,
you gave the price of Marlboros. Come on, dude.
right.
Shut the fuck
Well,
up.
I gotta sell these Marlboros at down at the Cabbage Patch corner
Yeah.
store, 126 Elm Street.
Right?
The fuck out of here, son. They're trying to give your son the fucking book right now
And-
over his
and that's the
drawings,
thing.
and that's the
And that's
support
the
you
thing.
show him.
That's the thing. And there's what I think that disconnect where you could visibly right there was the actual disconnect shown on,
Shit,
like,
if anything,
bro,
they might have had
your
some
son
mental
is-
health shit.
Your son is fighting for his life, right? And you're worried about, you know what I mean? Which I understand where he's coming from, and I can, and you know, from the outside, and I can see, you know, looking
He's
in.
trying to pretend nothing's
always-
happening. That's what Dad was doing.
I
You
feel
know
you
what I
on
mean?
that. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, what I'm saying, you know, the father's like, look, man, I got to put this food on the table. The fucking bills are still going to be due no matter what the fuck going to happen. I
ain't
still
got
got my
time.
obligations and my priorities. This
Right.
is what I got to do.
As the
I
great
ain't got-
Jesse the Body Ventura said in The Predator, I ain't got time to bleed. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? And,
You know what I mean?
and basically, like, in our terms, like, yo, listen, man, I ain't got time for that shit. I ain't got time
Yeah.
right now for this shit, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So I get it, but also a person being in Mike Diana's position, fighting for their lives, like, bro, you look for every support you can get.
Mm.
Every inch and every amount of support that you are
Right.
given.
And he
that
wasn't
you
the guy that's
look
gonna go
for.
out there like campaigning for people to help him. He just needed it. You
Yeah.
know?
Exactly. You definitely need any and every support that you get.
Like the
in
dude
that
with the
position.
fucking the painted this did the Joker hair color and shit.
Oh,
guy
yeah.
that- his
Yeah.
like only supporter during the whole court. I was like, damn, that's
I
where your
respect
father
that
should have
dude.
been.
Exactly. And
I
that
respect
dude
that
was
dude a lot,
speaking
man.
truth for as you know,
Right.
Yes,
the,
he
the,
was.
the
Yes, he
delivery
was,
of the
man.
message was wild, but he was speaking truth because that's what he was saying. He's
Yes,
like,
he was.
the First Amendment. I want this guy to have his First Amendment rights, you know. And when he was holding his arm up all limp and shit, I felt him. I felt him.
Yep,
That's
yep.
what the shit was, man. First Amendment, and
I know. It's like when that guy said, he said that's almost like when the guy was talking. He said when they said you can't draw anymore. He said that's as extreme as what? Cutting his hands off?
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Might
Well,
as
what's
well
that's the
next?
next step,
What's
right.
next?
Cut his hands off.
Might as
You
well.
won't draw now.
That's it. You might as well.
They would
You
have
know
did
what
that
I
shit
mean?
back in the 1600s, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yo,
Oh, you want to make
yo,
funny
and-
articles? You want to make funny
and
articles,
how
huh?
about-
Cut his hands off.
And how about the dude the same dude that was calling out the lawyer, right? How about when he was like, and if he would have been black, he would have been hung.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was that was some local TV. That
I
was like a
mean, I
local.
mean, I
I
don't,
mean, obviously that
I
guy
don't.
was like some local dude with his fucking belly hanging like that, sitting on a chair.
My
You
thing,
know
my
what I
thing is,
mean?
I don't really think physically and technically and literally he would have been hung, but I think what he meant was like he
The
would have
message was
been,
strong.
yeah, he would have been a million times more worse going through what Mike would have been going through. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? That's what he was saying. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you know, the justice system and the American justice system got it wrong again. Once again, they
Right.
got it wrong.
And shout out to that guy in the chair because he just reminds me of a guy that likes fucking cold cut combos and betting. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just,
Cold
give me
cut
the fucking,
combos.
give me the cold cut combo with the fucking, lettuce, tomato, onion, salt, pepper, oil, and vinegar, light mayo. Boom.
Come on,
Give me
Budweiser.
give me
Come on,
6
Budweiser
on the
with it.
trifecta. Give me fucking $10 on the trifecta. I was like, what are you doing?
That's funny.
Yeah,
That was
but and shout out to his only support, man. His only support guy, man.
Hell
that guy.
yeah.
They didn't even
dude
get a
was
guy's
great.
name.
That guy was great, man.
But I tell you, when
That
you
guy
start
was
looking
great.
at that footage, man, of the videos, it was you could bring it back to that time because I feel like I remember, just the way the cameras looked. And you remember,
Oh,
like
yeah.
I remember being young and remember looking at what those cameras looked like and how the quality looked and shit. And how about the brother getting in the courthouse with a camera and nobody did anything?
Hell
Had it
yeah.
running the whole time.
And but that he got some great footage, like especially of the lady of
Yeah.
like the devil is real and the devil will drag you down to hell. You're like,
Right.
how? And you're considered supposed to be like completely sane and on the good side of things. What the fuck is wrong with you?
That is terrible
Lady,
to say that.
you're kind of invading my space here, lady.
Right?
You're getting a
Right.
little too close.
He didn't even ask her none of that, and she didn't even know that camera was on. She just decided to fucking, hey, it's gonna burn in hell if he doesn't get
For
right. But
real.
it's gonna be okay. Like, what? Who are you? Have you been there? Did
Well,
you
that's
go
the
and come
thing.
back, and now you're giving me
They
the
let him
message?
go.
Is that-
They let him go in with the camera, but they told him to turn it off, and he didn't. He kept it running.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
So they see the camera, but they didn't think it was really on.
Shame
Yeah,
on
yeah.
them. Technology gets your ass every time, nigga.
Right?
Every time.
But
Yeah,
my
man.
thing was
Yeah,
like,
man.
I didn't like how they fucking let him. I felt like he was kind of really in open space when they're like, why are people that close to him? In the
I feel you
courthouse?
on that. Yeah, that was kind of just like, why is
You know what I
this
mean?
like
Like,
it's just a small little meeting room like a
Like there could be somebody
UFW?
somebody that upset that wants to fucking do physical harm to that kid, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they want to take out some frustration of some shit in their life on this young guy.
I like the
because of that
ladies
shit.
that, they're, in my opinion, they're just completely detached from reality. Like one of the ladies is holding a sign and she's just like, he's teaching people how to barbecue babies. And you're like, that, whoa, that's not what's happening. Like what, who
Is
told
what
you
got
that?
of that?
Who, yeah, exactly. That's one of those, that's what you from.
Right.
What
The problem
fuck?
is not what people are fucking putting out there. The problem is the people that are filtering it properly and actually doing these things. They're
Yeah.
the problem, not the person
Yeah.
that's like, well, the problem is they see these hip hop rappers and now they want to go out there and sell drugs and shoot. No, the problem is the person that believes that what they're seeing is what they should be doing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And are influenced by the most outlandish shit that they have upbringing morals and shit they were taught at a young age. Like, hey, that's hot. You're going to burn yourself. If you run too fast, you're going to fall. Tie your shoes. You know what I mean? Like shit like that.
Yeah.
What these kids were taught. If they weren't taught, then that's a different part of an avenue that, okay, well, then this kid was fucked from Jump Street almost. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
All right. And for those people out there that are still confused and still really, really don't get the gist of what we're talking about with this First Amendment thing, just understand. Just take your favorite singer, your favorite actor, your favorite athlete, and just with this mind frame, just say, no, you can't do what you do. Play basketball, you can't act, you can't sing, just can't do that. You just can't do that. Whatever you say is obscene, and you can't just do it.
Because somebody else is offended by it, which is
Right.
crazy. Because I bet
Right.
you if all those Bible thumpers, that the people that were, way too into it, I guarantee you they do something that's offensive to me, but I don't think that they should have
All
to
along.
stop doing it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't
Right.
mean that they should
Exactly.
end what they're fucking doing. It's
Exactly. Exactly. Just imagine, Father, just imagine. What if 2 Live Crew would have lost their case? Just
Yeah.
imagine.
It would have been big downhill. You know what I mean? And then nobody can curse and rap anymore. Nobody can. But
Just imagine, just imagine that. That if Two Live Crew would have lost, and now all the curses in your songs, if you had curses in your songs, you would not get played
yeah, and you can't rap
at
about
all.
sex. You can't rap, and
Nothing.
now it's certain things you can't rap about, along with the language. Now we're gonna go and tell you that there's only certain categories you can rap about. What the
Right,
fuck?
right. Like,
Yeah, that's
just
too much.
imagine
It's like you said, you're getting to a communist state at that point.
Yeah,
like
You're being
what?
told what to do.
What?
No, can't do that.
Come
Can't do,
on.
like it's like fucking China and over there in Asia and a lot of those countries. They're fighting to have what we have, and we're going the opposite way.
yep, yeah.
It's almost like they've had the other way so long. Like we want what you got, and then like almost somehow we had our certain way of freedom of expression. Like no, we got to tame it down. We got to dial it back. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's what and they do everything so slow that you don't realize it. That's the thing is they just they don't chop everything off at once. They take a little piece at once. Oh, you can't do it. Like I said, when Alex Jones got deplatformed, ha ha ha, it's so fucking funny. Yeah, because that guy's a conspiracy theorist. Then when they shut down Fox News for reporting on Hunter Biden's laptop, and you're like, whoa, what the fuck just happened? Like they just reported a story that actually happened, and now they're shut down. What the fuck is going on now? Like it's getting weird,
shit,
you know?
man.
It's getting weird.
I just hide in my bathrobe and hope it all works out.
That's what you have to do sometimes. But yeah, man, I'm ready to
Give it
I'm
a
ready to
score
talk
up.
about. I'm ready to score it up.
All right.
Lead it
So
off.
I'm
set off Spanish Jose.
No.
It's
Go to
me.
5.
Oh, five.
Go to
That's right.
5.
Five first. That's right. This
Hey,
was
but
your
like
joint.
police think I'm Spanish at some time, so I appreciate the compliment.
Oye, mico, papi.
Exactly. But man, I went with 4 out of 5. I enjoyed it, man. Like I said, the fight for the First Amendment is something I'm really passionate about, because for me, just because you disagree with something does not mean that it's wrong. You might feel this certain type of way, and that does not mean, first off, that doesn't mean that anybody else has to change their opinion. That doesn't mean that
Yes.
anybody else has to act. That doesn't mean that anything has to change in general. Sometimes you can
Yes.
just go in a fucking corner and sit with your feelings and realize that, that's how you feel. For me,
Yes.
like I said, I can't say I'm a huge fan of the art that, it was the stuff that Mike Diana does is shocking. It is, some of it was tough to look at. But forever and a day, he should be able to do it. And forever and a day, he should fucking be able to sell his stuff, and whoever wants to buy it should be able to buy it. And shout out to him, because I don't know if you guys saw the price tag on that last book that they showed. It was either 76 or $77. So shout out to him, because he's doing some stuff. Yeah, for me.
Remember me from the 90s? Yeah, I'm back.
Exactly. The one you got your ideas from. Yeah, man. I shout out to him, man. 4 out of 5 pumpkins for me. And shout out to him, and hopefully he'll be able to calm that anxiety down and know that the police aren't looking for him anymore,
Yeah, no doubt.
Get YP.
So I would like to give this one I'm gonna go 4 out of 5 watermelons as well. I felt this was and I'm gonna tell you why the 1 came off, just because too much sodomy for me. to have to envision in one fucking sitting of a documentary. It was just, I got it after the first couple clips, you know what I mean? But it kind of kept giving it. It's like, damn, bro, I get it, man. There's a lot of sodomy going on, man. I get it. He had fucked up drawings, man, but you're trying to really show it to a point. I don't know if they were like with him or against him in the documentary at that point. You know what I'm saying? It's like, are you guys trying to turn on him right now? So that was just, like I said, I'm okay with gruesome shit. I've seen it. You know what I mean? We've seen a lot of things. We're from that era of like, oh, the shock value is what it is. Faces
like
of
you
Death
said, we watched Faces of Death before.
Right. We're from that era. So it's like, I don't, but like, now being like a father and shit, it's like, it's sodomized babies. But that was just the 1 point. But 4 for like, it's just all around, man. The way it's like, it's just mind-boggling of how people are, and when somebody finds something outrageous to them, and they just basically rally people around them to shut something down, and it really could just gear from 1 or 2 people's opinions, and then it grows. And if they're good spokesmen enough, a good speakers to get people to follow. Like Hitler made people believe the shit he was saying. He wasn't a president. For the longest time, I thought the guy was a fucking president of fucking Germany. It's like, no, he wasn't a president of Germany. He was just the guy that fucking spoke in a way the country was crippled and they needed a leader and a voice, and they fucking decided to follow this guy. You know,
gang mentality. That's
right.
what it is, man.
You know what I mean? So it's like the way they did him was fucking wrong. I appreciate seeing some sort of justice come out of the justice he didn't get. As far as now he's grown and was able to kind of make a living off of the fucked up shit that happened to him. So it was like a kudos to that story. Like I said, that's something I would have never known. Like, hey, did you ever hear about the guy who was the only artist who was ever arrested for obscenity drawings in 1991? Like, what?
And convicted.
And convicted,
he lost
right?
A fucking case. Oh
right,
my
for
God.
a comic book of that he had in circulation of a whopping 300.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. What does that cover as far as the scale of even just in Florida? 300 people is like in his county.
What that
That's
one
like
dude said, he said it's a drop of piss in the ocean. That's what he said.
Right. That's the best fucking explanation. It's like, yeah, I gave everybody now and laters in my neighborhood. You know what I mean? So
bringing up for the class?
Should the next like fucking town over be upset? Like, I heard you're giving now and laters out there. You know what I mean? It's like, we didn't get, like, have you ever seen it? No, but I heard about them. Like,
right.
If you don't see it, it doesn't bother you. That's why I said that too with my cousin who had that idea of people that are offended by these big statues. For one, if it's like, if you don't see it, it don't bother you. So, all right, people want to see it, people don't want to see it. Put it in a fucking museum somewhere. Let it be a teaching tool. If you want to see it, go see it. If you don't want to see it, you don't got to see it. It's you know, it's just pretty simple. But now, 4 watermelons I gave. This was a very intriguing story. Florida's a shithole. Yeah.
That's a t-shirt right there. Florida's a shithole.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys want to go get some churros? But Mike, Diana, justice to you, and I'm glad that it worked out for you in a positive note on the end. So yeah.
Michael Diana.
If Diana gets 4, nigga.
Nice.
Canepa.
All right, so loved it, man. I love what it was about. I love everything about it. Almost to give it a 5. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, I gave it a 4.5, and the only reason I took even the half was because, you know what I mean, he did get convicted and he did get sentenced. It's the only reason.
So it's a letdown. It's like you're watching this epic movie and it's like, oh.
Yeah, because they failed, the country failed miserably on this man and his beliefs, and not even his belief, but in his God-given, not God-given, but in his rights. You know what I mean? Like, they violated his rights, plain and simple. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, look, the elephant of the room is this: are the drawings obscene? You fucking right they are.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it. They're fucking obscene. Yes,
I wouldn't buy them, but
yes, they are.
Peek at them.
But you know what? That's his fucking right to make it those obscene fucking drawings.
Yeah.
That is his right if he wants to fucking sell to other people that share that same likeness of this type of shit.
If nobody liked it, he would never sell one.
Okay.
So
now,
obviously people like the shit.
I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
So who gives a shit if they were obscene or not? It wasn't enough to have this man go through what he went through. I also want to give shouts to Mike, you know what I mean, for even going through all this shit and still fighting for his own rights. You know what I mean? And I also shout out all the other artists and all the people that had his back for this. You know what I mean?
That was nice to see them come together. Yeah.
They did.
You know
like a coalition of comic book artists.
Yep.
Shout out to his lawyer. You know what I mean? Because even his lawyer was like this like, whoa. You know what I mean? Because he grew up in a Catholic household. You know what I mean? So
when he gave that story, what happened to him, that was, you know what I mean? He's like, yeah, from that I was like, okay. He said, I had my first taste of First Amendment being kind of stripping from
Right.
at a young age, kindergarten or some shit.
Yep.
Exactly.
He got
So
expelled.
he had a
He got expelled for drawing.
So he had a relation. You know what I mean? He related to what Mike was going through.
Mm.
You know what I mean? You know, the actual like story and the fight and the moral, you know what I mean, of it was great. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I was just very disappointed, man, that the fucking justice system really failed them and didn't, you know, abide by the law and the First Amendment. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I also would like to say that this should be distributed a lot more than what it is. Like this should be have more awareness to it. People should know about this more and more so they can understand what it is to protect the First Amendment.
Right. This
Mm.
is your edgy documentary you showing to like a high school class somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like,
because currently right now we're going through a crisis of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Through censorship and through people and through controlling and through all of this. You know what I mean? So as the documentary, man, it was a great pick. It was a great documentary. You know what I mean? But that was my only letdown, man. That they failed him, man. When he took it to the court, which was the proper way. He went the proper way of doing it. You know what I mean? And he lost and it failed him. You know what I'm saying? But if it wasn't that, you know, they stumbled onto this work, they would have never found this dude. They would have never known about this guy, man.
No.
It just so happened that it was those killings that were coming from Florida and the college, those 3 killings about some guy killing and the gruesome and how gruesome they were. You know what I'm saying? For them, the cop to be like, yo, check this out. I mean, I could understand to maybe to give a lead, to think you can be that person and be like, yeah, he's the one that gave me the lead and try to get kudos and all of that. I could understand, but listen, man, that dude was just doing something that he loved in a country supposedly, you know what I mean, to back that. You know what I mean? This is what makes us us. Is you know what I mean? Are those rights, man? The first fucking, not the second, not the third, not the first fucking amendment.
Wait a minute, you're trying to take my gun away? I'm sorry, go ahead. Kind of sounds to me like you're
amendment, man, that needs to be protected. All our amendments need to be protected, especially the First Amendment, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, man. You got motherfuckers like motherfuckers are pouring in. That's why we have a high immigration rate, because people coming from other countries that have restrictions and have government control, and they don't want that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So 4.5 Canepas, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to drift too much off of it, you know what I mean? Because it can branch off to a lot of things, you know what I mean? This one documentary can go into a lot of different places.
Right. Yeah. A lot of unaggregated fields.
And that's what's so good about this. You know what I mean? It was sort of like a fucking gem, man, in disguise. You know what I'm saying? Because by the looks of it, you look at it and you're like, oh shit, you know, you don't take it until you actually dive in and watch it to get a deeper grasp and understanding, like, oh shit, it's deeper than just the paintings, man, and what it was way, and it just hit me like it was just way deeper than that, because even, you know what I mean, because I always while watching that, I was always related to, you know what I'm saying, our music, as artists, as we are, as rappers, you know what I'm saying, like this is something that we love to do, and imagine somebody telling us that we can't do that or say the things that we say.
Tried. It was attempted.
You know
they attempted to assassinate hip hop.
Like we said, right around the same time. It was like in the early 90s. They tried to
they were really trying to blame everything for everything, and crack was out of hand, and there was gangs were happening. There was a lot. That late 80s to the early 90s.
I think this is shit happening, man. To be honest, man, I think this is one of those you put up aside and put in the level of classic material as documentary goes, man.
Good shit. Pick. Yeah, and like I said too,
4.5.
I had no clue that comic books were demonized like music later became. I did that was one of the most eye-opening things for me, was I didn't know that back in the day how popular the comic books were, and they were like, oh my god, that's what's fucking up the kids. It was like, wow. That was shocking for me. I didn't even know that was like a thing, but Shit, man.
And,
So
and like the guy was saying, you know, like the older head, you know what I mean? Shout out to the old guy with the glasses where he was saying, you know, the underground shops with these underground comic books was like, you know, like almost like, yo, where you to go get your heroin?
oh, that was George Romero. That was George Romero. Yeah.
Where would your heroin?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know, but you know what? I kind of dig the comic book thing because at the time when they were coming out, it was sort of like for the kids to be like their own little thing to where the adults didn't know about it. And it was sort of
every kid's generation wants something that the adults are. It's like keep the adults out of it.
That was the cool mystique. That was the cool mystique about it. Where no, this is our little thing. It was just innocent. It wasn't just comics, man. It wasn't nothing real.
Yo, it's like the truest statement is the death of any child's toy is an adult. Soon as that nigga starts playing with the shit, is dead. Mom likes it, dad likes it. Dad's on TikTok.
Think about Facebook. What happened when everyone's parents got on Facebook? They're like, "Yeah, we're going to Instagram. We'll go to Twitter."
They're all going, and now there's only parents left on Facebook. Yeah. Now it's like that's how they hit you up. What are you doing?
Nah, man. So what's up for next week? What's on the
Is
table?
It on me or P? It's on me.
White P. It's on you, baby.
It's on me. I had a couple options. Let me see. Let me go back real quick. There was one. This is back on Prime. I threw this one out there. I did not watch the trailer, but from the reading on it, I mean, it's self-explanatory. We're gonna go Columbus in America, man. Columbus in America. We're gonna talk about Columbus. I mean, we're gonna see we'll see if this documentary gives anything. Like I said, I didn't watch the trailer. What I'm really just shooting for it here, see if I can find some hidden gems.
I like it. We're keeping this shit political, damn it. I like it.
Well, this ain't really political. It's just, it kind of is, but, you know, just founder of the country. I wanted to really push this one out, actually, in November, around that whole Thanksgiving time. So this is kind of a late one I'm tossing out.
Late bloomer.
But that's basically what I wanted to, you know, it's like, hey, we do all these holidays and all this other shit in America here. Let's start looking into Columbus. I don't know if they're going to give a little bit more about this guy or you know, they basically in the description said about shit that you wouldn't think of. You know,
hey, well, and I can tell this is not a celebratory one because the first sentence, how did Christopher Columbus, the man who first brutalized the inhabitants of the New World, become a hero?
They're not painting a good picture of him. All right, so that's good. I want to see, like, because we always get good pictures.
I want to see the uglies. I want to see the uglies of Christopher.
So hopefully this is a well put together joint. Like I said, we popping on the trailer right now.
I want to hear that he fucking raped and pillaged the Indians because I know that's what happened. See that eyes? See those eyes? It's only eyes.
Wow.
Okay.
That looks good.
About, like, his introduction to like how he got put into us and how he got force fed as being the dude. You know what I mean? Along the way. So
force fed the dude.
Force feed the dude.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.